Hello. Welcome to the Fanfic Majesty. If you want more content, you can follow me on Patreon. I will be uploading more content on there that will be exclusive. The link is in the description. Please support me. 7 PC. Chapter 127 The Power of People. The 4th level of Super Saiyan is now. Open black lens bracket subscription close black lens bracket. Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. With the 11th universe and the 7th universe sent out emotions. The other resurrected universe people and gods all looked at each other blankly at this time. Under the explanation of Angel of their respective universes, they also knew the cause and effect of the incident. Some were shocked, grateful, admired, incredible. Others scoffed at Bergette's stupidity. Challenging God is nothing, but if you challenge Angel, everyone can imagine what will happen. Must be miserable. Others are hoping that Bergette can win, because if Bergette wins, they will also see hope that they can surpass gods of destruction and surpass Angel's hope. As long as this man succeeds, it will break the conclusion that human beings are destined to be pawns of gods and supreme beings. As long as they can win, everyone in universe may become the next existence that surpasses Angel. 6th universe here. At this moment, gods of destruction Champa did not know how to describe the excitement and feelings in his heart. This guy really dares to do this, even I have to admire him. The challenge is that fat woman Martinu. It's troublesome. Champa was very worried about Bergette's safety at the moment, but I have to be convinced, Bergette's courage. If it was him, would he dare to challenge Angel? Give him 10 courage, no matter how strong he is, he will not dare. Because the horror of Angel Vados has long been deeply reflected in his mind. On the surface it is a master-servant relationship, but Vados is always his master. On the surface, he has never spoken politely, and Vados has always done whatever he wants, but in reality, the bottom line never happens. It has come to this point. Then let go and fight. Bergette. Kill Angel too. Overtake them and defeat them. Let them see the courage and strength of the underworld creatures. There was a flame of dissatisfaction with the gods and Angel. Before the game started, they had agreed to make those supreme beings who regarded them as pawns pay the price, and let those goddamn gods see clearly that they were not pawns that anyone could control. Now, finally, the moment has come, and Paradin can't wait. It's a pity that he is not qualified to participate in this battle with Angel because he is too weak. Only Bergette did what the 140 was supposed to do from the start. Bergette, the man that my mother likes, let me see, how did you surprise those gods? Let them see clearly, we people are not ants that they can play with. God is also good, even Angel. Only strength is the measure of everything. Hill's eyes narrowed, and he was looking forward to the final result of this battle. She is waiting for this moment. At this moment, all of them in the universe cheered up. This battle has so many meanings. This is also the first battle between mortals and Angel. Whether it's successful or not, it's a good thing for humans and the creatures in the universe. This is the first battle, but it is by no means the last battle. Bergette opened the prelude. In the future, there will only be more people to challenge the supreme existence, because none of them are willing to be reduced to pawns. Advertisement. Caulifla and Kyle are also shouting for Bergette. Maybe the only difference is the kid Gabe. His grievance opened up a special dark side that made him think of Bergette losing instead. The Grand Priest above the void looked at all the existences returning to the realm of nothingness, smiled and pronounced. Now, all the audiences have gathered. Then, this challenge match between mortals and Angel, also it's time to start. Contemporary Zeno. Hurry up. I really want to see it soon. Future Zeno. Bergette or Martino, who will be stronger? If stronger, let Bergette be Angel. Contemporary Zeno. What a great idea. Future Zeno. Yeah, that's interesting. 99. As the voices of Grand Priest and Zeno fell, the first battle between humans and Angel, with bigger chips, officially started. The winner, act as Angel. What concept is this? It is equivalent to that for Martino. This battle must not be lost. If she loses, then she is nothing. On the ring. Bergette meets the more serious Angel Martino. Bergette wasn't in a hurry, and didn't even seem nervous at all. However, Angel Martino completely revealed that cold killing intent. Saiyan of the 6th universe, she will kill it. Saiyan, who is pretentious, thinks that he can be arrogant by winning the championship of the power competition. Now, let Zeno-sama make such a decision. I will show you clearly that your self-confident power is in front of Angel. Not worth mentioning at all. Not just you, all human beings. In Angel's eyes, they are all ants. 35 raised her hand. Angel Martinu's ability was displayed, and she wanted to suppress Bergette in an instant. When Angel's power was mobilized, white light filled the air, the space was filled with this mysterious power, and the darkness of the entire world of nowhere seemed to be completely wiped out. This power seems to be sacred and inviolable, but the more beautiful things are often accompanied by danger and destruction. If you are not careful, you will be completely destroyed in an instant. The intensity of this energy made the strong men and the gods of destruction stand upright and become nervous. Because they know that this Angel has moved for real. Are you in such a hurry? Angel Martinu, it's a bit too reckless for you to go directly. Since you think Angel's power can despise everything, why are you so afraid of me and kill me before I can transform? Death. Bergette's sudden words interrupted Martino, who was just about to attack the suppression. Clever. At this time, have you learned to use your mouth? Humph. In front of Angel, you humans have to maintain humility and awe. Don't be so pretentious. If you kneel and beg for mercy now, I may be able to forgive you a life. Angel Martino teased with a playful smile on his face. This attitude of contempt for everything is so disgusting. Humans have to maintain humility and awe in front of you. How narcissistic are you, fat mother F. Kerr? Calling you Angel is to give you face. You don't think I'll beg you for mercy. The reason why I let you, don't worry, because I think you need to witness how I, a mortal, can dare to challenge you. Bergette sprayed directly. Advertisement. In an instant, the proud Angel Martino's face turned dark, and the fat face was swollen, looking very funny and ridiculous. Feeling the increasingly terrifying gloomy aura of Martino, Bergette understood that this fat dead woman was narrow-minded, and he was irritated by just a few words, and it was about to turn black. Facing a rampant and murderous angel, it is very deadly and dangerous. However, Bergette didn't care about all this. He knew that Martino would not shoot directly, because his aggressive method was successful. The next second, the dangerous aura on Angel Martino suddenly dissipated, replaced by an amiable smile. Since you are so confident, let me see what your trump card as a human being is, and I'll let you take your trump card and turn it into the dust of this world together. Angel Martino didn't sound like any emotionally fluctuating words are full of danger. This dead fat woman is even more brutal than expected. I hope you can say these words so leisurely in the future. Then, what I want you to see next is the true power of our Saiyans, that has not yet been developed to the extreme. The power of man. The corner of her mouth twitched. Bergette decisively mobilized the energy pool in her body and entered the first stage of Super Saiyan full power. At the same time that the combat power has been increased by 80 times, all the chi is restrained and sealed into the body, without any leakage. Seeing that Bergette just turned into the first order of Super Saiyan, Bebef made Martino puzzled. This power is far worse than before. Is it possible that this guy is going to use this transformation on himself? There is no need to show such a skeptical expression. This is only the full power of the first stage of Super Saiyan, and it is also the initial transformation of our Saiyan. The advanced state produced by the intensification of blood factors in the body is also the first evolution of our Saiyan. Next. As soon as the voice fell, Bergette mobilized the energy form again, and directly entered the peak of the second level of Super Saiyan. The combat power increased again, and Bergette began to introduce again the peak of the second tier of Super Saiyan. The power of Saiyan's blood has once again transformed into a new state, and its strength is twice as strong as the first tier of Super Saiyan. Above. So much nonsense made Martino a little impatient. She narrowed her eyes slightly, wondering what kind of medicine Bergette's gourd was selling, and what he wanted to express. There is no reason for him, it is too weak. In the next second, Bergette's breath sublimated again, and her state changed from the second level of Super Saiyan to the third level of Super Saiyan. The third level of Super Saiyan, this is a level higher than the second level of Super Saiyan. Bergette chuckled. Only this time, before the words were finished, Martino was directly dissatisfied. Enough. What the hell are you trying to do? Angel Martino roared angrily. At the same time, the majestic killing intent was undoubtedly revealed, the fat man murder and anger all over his face. She felt deeply ashamed that, as Angel, she had been tricked by Bergette. Hurry up and show your true skills. That Super Saiyan blue color third order boundary breakthrough. I don't want to waste any more time. 1 minute later, you will die soon. Angel Martino killing intent. It was revealed that the terrifying Angel's power was even more dangerous than before. Hey, I wanted to introduce you a little more. After all, you don't know much about our Saiyan. I didn't expect you to be so anxious. Isn't Angel's character very calm? Your impatience is hard to imagine. Be Angel. Bergette was no longer hiding, and began to awaken the power of blood that was dormant in her body. He has not used the power of blood in his body for a long time. Since this power reached its limit a long time ago, it has never been used again, and instead began to cultivate the path of divine power. Since that's the case, then you're optimistic. Go to the next level, transform. Drink. A sullen snort, without giving Martino time to answer. Immediately, a violent aura unfolded, and a crimson flame began to burn with Bergette as the center. Advertisement. A suspicious look appeared on Martino's face when he realized that this power was not right. It was not the power of God, but pure aura. Saiyan from the 7th universe and 6th universe was also attracted to the past. This flame is very similar to Super Saiyan God, but the breath is completely different. Super Saiyan God's chi is the power of God, and the color of the flame is fire red. But this chi is pure aura. The chi of human nature. It is not the power of the gods they use. When the flames dissipated, Bergette's form changed drastically. In the central position of the burning energy, Bergette stands in place with a new attitude. Now he looks no longer human, but more like a very terrifying beast with reason and strength. The waist-length golden hair of the third order of Super Saiyan was rendered into a crimson red at this moment. His waist-length crimson hair was covered with crimson hair all over his body. His muscles became larger than before, his body was much more burly, and a red eyeshadow appeared at the corners of his eyes, adding a bit of domineering to this form. Awe-inspiring. The crimson aura lingered around Bergette's body, the terrifying intensity of the aura, even the power of the gods, was eclipsed, and even because of this high-speed circulating aura, the temperature around Bergette's body at this moment increased to a level comparable to the sun. This scene was watched by the 12 angels and also by the Saiyans. They had never seen Bergette in this new state, and they had never imagined that mortal anger could reach this level. This is my own power, the most essential power of mortals, the 4th level of Super Saiyan. The corners of his mouth undulating slightly, Bergette confidently introduced himself to Martinu's new state. The peak of the 4th order red hair of Super Saiyan, the normal increase of 10,000 times, is comparable to the transformation of Super Saiyan blue color. Moreover, this power is not mixed with any divine power, it is just pure human power. It is also the form that Bergette has achieved in his early years of cultivation, but because this power has been reached to the limit by him, he has found another way to cultivate the power of God. Now against Angel, he wants to unleash all the power that has been buried for many years. Above, the Grand Priest stared at Bergette, who was constantly advancing and transforming, and the smile on his face grew even stronger. It's hard to imagine that Super Saiyan's transformation can be practiced to this point. You must know that without the assistance of any power, it is simply to develop the bloodline power. This power, in Grand Priest's view, is comparable to the power of God. He is also looking forward to it even more, because where will Bergette go if it continues like this? Isn't there a higher level of transformation? For example, Super Saiyan Tier 5. Or, on the basis of the 4th level of Super Saiyan, and then fusion God's power, to achieve a more incredible realm. It turns out that the concealment that I felt from the beginning was not the boundary breakthrough of the 3rd order Super Saiyan blue color at all. It was the hidden human power within you. 39 Grand Priest muttered to himself. Bergette, what are the plans? He is more convinced why he wants to challenge Angel so much. He has indeed reached that height. Chapter 128 Beyond the Shackles of Blood, Chao Wu was born. Open black lens bracket subscription close black lens bracket. Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. The viewing area of the 6th universe. This form, the 4th level of Super Saiyan. What is this kid doing? He has no power of God, just pure power. He wants to use this form to face Angel Martinu. What a joke. Compared to the Super Blue 3rd order one is too weak. Champa blinked, and in his big eyes, there was a confused look. The shock of the 4th level of Super Saiyan was indeed great, but with this level of transformation, even a finger of the 3rd level of Super Saiyan blue color was not comparable to that of a finger of the 3rd level of Super Saiyan. Dare to hold this playful attitude, isn't this courting death? It's this form. It's been a long time. Peroton's eyes narrowed slightly, as if caught in some kind of memory. When I met Bergette that year, the opponent woke him up with overwhelming combat power, and his state was not the so-called Super Saiyan God, nor was it Super Saiyan Human Blue. It was this pure Super Saiyan Tier 4. Pure mortal power knocked him awake. Although I don't know why the other party didn't use Super Saiyan's 4th order transformation in the power conference, but this time, facing Angel, since he took this form, it also means that Bergette has his own thoughts and plans. It's this figure, it belongs to human beings, it's savage and powerful. No matter how many times I watch it, it's so fascinating. Hill is like a little fangirl, transformed by the 4th stage of Bergette's Super Saiyan. Fascinated. She has also seen Bergette's Super Saiyan 4th tier and played against it. It was also since that encounter that she hadn't seen Bergette's Super Saiyan 4th order. Until today, I have not seen this form again. So handsome. So awesome. Little stars appeared in Caulifla's eyes, and she was deeply attracted by Bergette's savage and strong posture, and she began to become Nympho. I've decided. I also want to practice the 4th level of Super Saiyan. It will start after we go back. Kair immediately decided to go back and ask Bergette Super Saiyan how to practice the 4th level. The first time she saw this state, she was deeply longing for it. She prefers Super 4 to Super Saiyan God and the like. It's really interesting. Is it evolving again? What kind of race is Saiyan? First a god, now a human. 35 Frost muttered to himself. At the same time, he also glanced slightly at Gabe beside him. The other party was also shocked and speechless by this wild state. Unlike others who were shocked by this form, Angel Vado's expression became more solemn. Open black lens bracket only the level of the 4th level of Super Saiyan. But you can't win against Angel. You still have something to hide, hurry up and use it, that woman Martinu, but she is already angry. Close black lens bracket Vados is anxious in his heart road. 7th universe here. When the 4th level of Super Saiyan appeared, the Z warriors all had different expressions, shocked to the extreme, and even more horrified, as if they had seen something impossible. This form, this power, is not the power of God, but she. He actually went further on the basis of the 3rd level of Super Saiyan and completed the transformation of the 4th level of Super Saiyan. Son Gohan shouted in surprise, and everyone stood up, dragging the railing in front of them, dumbfounded. This is not the power of gods, but the power of mortals themselves. It is completely different from his mysterious power. Although, his Super Saiyan beast form is very strong, but if he simply compares with the 4th rank of Super Saiyan, it is far less powerful than Bergette's form. Among them, who can reach the heights of Bergette, as a human being? 1. None of them. Advertisement. Saiyan's bloodline power has evolved and transformed. Doesn't it mean, Goku and Vegeta, if you reach a certain level, you can become like this? Although, it is not as powerful as the form given by the power of God. But, since Bergette has done this, it also shows that your Saiyan's own bloodline power is absolutely as good as the power of cultivating gods. Master Roshi's forehead fell into a cold sweat, and when he said the words, his eyes shifted to Son Goku and Vegeta. On the body. Bergette can become, and so can they, just don't know how. They had seen Super Saiyan God and Super Saiyan Blue, but the red-haired monkey in front of them completely overturned their perception of Saiyan. If this is what Saiyan is like, they don't practice the power of gods but consolidate their own power evolution, maybe they can climb to a higher realm. At this moment, the legendary Super Saiyan of the 7th universe, after seeing the 4th level of Bergette's Super Saiyan, the power of the blood in his body was pulled and inexplicably stabilized. It seems that the two forces do not interfere with the river water and do not interfere with each other. Broly feels more relaxed than ever, but he is very concerned and yearns for Bergette's new state. Not only him, but also Son Goku and Vegeta, both Saiyans who yearn for the power of Super 4. It's unbelievable. Super Saiyan Tier 4, if we'd known from the beginning, if. Son Goku started talking to himself. Yearning is certain. In the end, if it wasn't because he didn't know how to advance to the 4th level of Super Saiyan after the 3rd level of Super Saiyan, he would not have embarked on the path of cultivating Super Saiyan God. Now, although on the basis of Super Saiyan God, they have reached the 2nd level of Super Blue, but this wave of operations by Bergette directly changed their inner thoughts. Obviously Super Blue 3. Boundary breakthrough is so powerful, but Bergette chose not to face Angel with that attitude, but chose to use this transformation. The 4th level of Super Saiyan is indeed not strong enough, at least not comparable to the 2nd level of Super Blue, or even the 3rd level, but there must be a reason for Bergette to do this. What the hell is this guy trying to do? The 4th level of Super Saiyan that has surpassed the 3rd level of Super Saiyan. This kind of Saiyan's original appearance makes me have a feeling that I can't tell. Dignified. Super 4 makes him yearn for it, but it has an unspeakable taste. He's very strong, but if that's all, he's probably far from Angel's opponent. Bergette, what are you trying to do? Unless, it can be transformed again. Or, Super Saiyan 5th order, surpasses the 2nd order of the Super Blue, and also surpasses the 3rd order of the Super Blue. Perhaps, Bergette-san is breaking his original shackles. He made such a considerable breakthrough in the power of his own blood, but chose to cultivate the power of God, perfecting the 3rd level of Super Saiyan Blue. He wants to use human power to compete with Angel. Or, on the basis of the 4th level of Super Saiyan, to fuse the power of God. Whis' words shocked everyone and stunned them. But if that's all, I'm afraid it's not enough. How should he face Angel Martinu? The gap is too big. Beerus couldn't help saying. It depends on how much the power of Bergette's blood can evaporate. Whis didn't give an accurate answer, because even he didn't know what the result would be. He only knew that if Bergette continued to procrastinate, with Martino's temper, he would definitely not be able to suppress him directly. On the ring, Martinu, who witnessed the 4th level of Super Saiyan, after a brief period of suspicious shock, withdrew his shocked expression and turned to a ridiculous expression. So, that's what you're going to do. The so-called 4th rank of Super Saiyan. It's amazing that mortal power can reach this level, but that's all, with your 3rd rank of Super Saiyan Blue. Breaking the boundaries can be a difference of 108,000 miles. 35 Angel Martino sneered. This made Bergette laugh directly. With the wild face of Super Saiyan's 4th order red hair, it is so majestic and domineering. Of course it doesn't stop there. That's why you're too anxious. If that's all, how dare I challenge you, Angel? Her eyes narrowed slightly, and Bergette's aura became stronger and stronger. Beyond Super Saiyan 4th order redhead, it is inevitable. But he planned to come little by little, but Martino didn't want to wait so long. You said you could go further. But so what? According to your Saiyan's ability to transform into strength-enhancing urine, how many times can you transform? If you continue to delay time, I will not accompany you. Martinu's words were full of intimidation. Advertisement. It seems that if Bergette is not serious, if she does not come well, then she will shoot. Time. Give it. Bergette has worn out too much of her patience. Then just watch it. The red hair that surpassed the 4th rank of Super Saiyan. My Super Saiyan bloodline is sublimated. With a look in his eyes, Bergette transformed directly. The pure crimson arrogance has undergone a qualitative change, and the originally dazzling arrogance has begun to transform. From air, into substantial energy. Beyond Super Saiyan 4th order red hair boundary break. Super Saiyan Tier 4 pink hair blood sublimation. Full of fantastic colors, sublimation in essence, such a transformation, in just an instant, makes Bergette's breath increase dozens of times on the original basis. This is a power comparable to the 2nd order of Super Saiyan Blue. Also, the ultimate power of Super Saiyan Tier 4. Another change, once again shocking all universe players, God, and Angel. After all, the power of mortals has evolved again, even if it is mixed with a little power of gods, but it is still the power of mortals. Humph. That's all. So, you're done. Seeing this form, Angel Martinu's face turned gloomy. Do you want to resist her Angel's power with this level of human power? Katakana middle dot katakana middle dot katakana middle dot katakana middle dot seeking flowers. Is this a joke? Or is Bergette out of her mind? Wouldn't it be better to take out the Super Saiyan blue color third order boundary breakthrough? From the beginning to now, you have been mocking, unable to bear, and urging. Angel Martinu. Don't look down on the power of mortals. Mortals can surpass gods and even you angels. A flash of coldness flashed in his eyes. Unconsciously, the momentum around Bergette became more and more substantial. So far, of course not possible, he has already reached a higher level, even if he has not used it yet, but when he broke through to the third level of Super Saiyan Blue, he knew that the power of his blood was also affected by the power of God. Assisted evolution. So, what follows is what he has always wanted to break through but was unable to break through until today, Super Saiyan Tier 5. Faced with such a shift, Martino frowned. Seeing now, she is actually quite patient. Now do it again, make her not want to wait any longer. Even if Bergette didn't have it all, she couldn't wait to teach him a lesson. Angel, do not allow mortals to defile and provoke mortals. For Bergette, the power tournament is already doomed. For Angel, the battle between mortals and her was already doomed. No matter how far Bergette breaks through. Advertisement. You've made me impatient, accept Angel's trial well. Mortal, raise the Angel's scepter in his hand, and a terrifying mysterious power emerges from Martinu's body. Point 0. The extremely special Angel's power turned into a beam of light that reached the sky, and Martinu raised his hand, pointing at Bergette with the scepter in his hand. A colorful beam of light was born from nothingness, fell directly onto Bergette's body. Unimaginable pressure swept in, making Bergette feel the greatest pressure in her life. As expected of Angel's power. Just raising a hand has such great power. But, I won't stop here. My power, you can't suppress it. Words from Bergette said. Martino wants him to kneel. How is this possible? Bergette is on his feet. No one deserves to make him kneel. In an instant, under this extreme pressure, the light in Bergette's eyes changed. The pink and purple aura around the body transformed, and the white halo soaring into the sky formed a beam of energy that expanded at an astonishing speed, and suppressed the angel beam of light cast by Angel Martinu and directly shattered it. The boundless aura penetrated the entire void, the majestic air even tore apart the space-time tunnel and spread to other parallel space-time worlds. How dazzling and shocking is this incomparably sacred white light? Angel Martinu's expression froze, and in an instant, he used Angel's power to form an invisible defense, blocking the sweeping momentum ahead. Breaking my repression directly, this human light does make me admire, but, in Angel's eyes, it's still nothing more than that. Martino looked a little embarrassed. After all, it was her attack that was directly broken by Bergette. Her face was swept away. The splendid light, so bright that it cannot be described in words, renders the realm of nothingness, making this space, which originally belonged to the prototype of universe, undergone an unpredictable transformation. At this moment, what Bergette represents seems to be a universe, boundless and radiant, so unbelievable. Seeing this scene, Zeno couldn't help shouting with joy. Grand Priest was stunned, surprised, and felt incredible. In the end, Grand Priest, as the supreme god, clearly understands what kind of state Bergette has reached. This kind of strength, looking at countless parallel space-time worlds, no mortals can reach. Bergette reached. This came from a foreign existence, he did not see it wrong, and the original decision was not wrong. The fifth level of Super Saiyan. After breaking the shackles of the bloodline, it has advanced to a higher dimension. But, how are you going to deal with Martinu? The gap between dimensions has not narrowed much. Doubt, Grand Priest didn't know what Bergette was thinking. But he knew, Bergette must know, even at the fifth level of Super Saiyan, the gap between Angel and Angel was still very big. Such a fifth-order Super Saiyan, the strength is indeed above the third-order Super Saiyan blue color breakthrough, but only that, no matter how dazzling the light is, it is limited to this. In the ring, when Bergette's new look comes on stage. God, Angel's eyes were completely attracted. White-haired monkey, the fifth level of Super Saiyan, was born. Bergette, also for this time and space world, created a new beginning, a new future man. Chapter 129 Super 5 Extreme Peaks, 100 million times normal. Open black lens bracket subscription close black lens bracket. Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. People and gods are shocked, and everyone is watching. Especially Saiyan from Universe 6 and Universe 7. Especially shocking is Son Goku and Vegeta of the 7th universe. Bergette stabilized Super Saiyan's 5th order form, standing directly in front of Angel Martinu with a beast-like stance. The stern and icy eyes looked at each other with a strong deterrent force. This is my most essential strength as a human being, the 5th level of Super Saiyan. Fist clenched, a confident smile added to Bergette's face. Reaching this realm, one's own strength has already reached a higher peak. According to the law of power, the Super 2 is twice the Super 1, the Super 3 is 4 times the Super 2, and the Super 4 red hair is 16 times the Super 3. The Super 5 is 256 times the Super 4 red hair. And this is just the initial Super 5, Bergette's Super 5 is not an ordinary Super 5. In the process of evolution and transformation, Bergette constantly surpasses the limit and constantly climbs to a higher realm. This Super 5 has reached the ultimate state in one breath. Over the years, the silent bloodline has been developed to a certain level in disguise due to the cultivation of divine power. With a little guidance and control of power, his Super 5 can reach hundreds of times, or even thousands, of Super 4 red hair times. It is equivalent to the early stage of Super 5, but it is 1.638400 times of the normal state. In the midterm Super 5, it can be enhanced to 5 million times of the normal state. In the later stage, it can reach more than 10 million times of the normal state. The peak Super 5 has reached a billion-fold increase. So the current Bergette, the strength embodied, has completely surpassed the Super Saiyan blue color third order boundary breakthrough. In terms of accurate data, at this time, Bergette, who is at the peak of Super Saiyan's 5th order peak, has a combat power of up to 50 points. The realm of the 12th dimension. You said, isn't Bergette only 1000 inches 140, rang in the 9th dimension? Even if the increase of 100 million times is added, isn't it only 5000 streams? Of course, because of breaking through the extreme, the bloodline is completely awakened, so the normal state of 1000 rang has completely broken through to the 10th dimension, reaching the unit of 50 grooves. Coupled with the 100 million times increase of the Super 5 peaks, it has directly crossed the 10th dimension, the 11th dimension. It has reached the 12th dimension. Looking at Martinu, the atmosphere became extremely anxious. It can be said that at this stage of transformation, Bergette has completely opened the shackles of the bloodline. Humph. That is to say, this is your full strength now. It took so much time and wasted so much of my patience, just to this extent. The voice fell, and Martinu's eyes emerged with majestic murderous intent. Angel's power was mobilized under her will. The previous suppression by Angel's power, which was forcibly broken, had already made her humiliated. So, she won't make a second mistake again. In this battle, not only the mortals and gods of the lower world are paying attention, but also other angels, the Grand Priest above, and Zeno. As an angel, she is supreme, how can she be shaken by mortals? Advertisement. The power of Angel hovered in his hand, and finally turned into an extremely sharp white light blade. At an extremely terrifying speed, it crossed the space in a straight line and attacked where Bergette was. This blow, how terrifying. It seems that everything can be cut in half by it, and it can never be recovered. Instinctively, there was a fatal sense of crisis. Bergette narrowed her eyes and turned her body slightly to one side, escaping the attack that was enough to cut everything. The blade of light passed by, as if blocking the space on both sides. The first impression to Bergette was that the space was disconnected. Even if the power of space was used to jump, it would not be possible. Boom. A loud noise. In an instant, the area cut by the light blade suddenly exploded. Not only the space cracked, but also the fully restored arena below. Even if it was cast by Super Kasingen, and even with the blessing of Grand Priest, it is still as fragile as tofu in front of the power of Angel. It's really dangerous. If I'm hit by this blow, I'm afraid I'll be cut in half in an instant, and I can't easily recover if I don't die. Any self-healing ability will be affected by the side effects of this move. Unable to recover. Marveling at the terrifying power of this blow, Bergette cautiously said, but still said in a mocking tone. When he came back to his senses, his expression became a little more serious, and at the same time he aimed at Angel Martinu's position and raised his hand slightly. You gave me a big gift, then I will give you a big gift too. The voice fell. Boom. A loud noise. At the feet of Angel Martinu, a huge explosion was suddenly triggered, and a shock wave visible to the naked eye spread violently. Thick smoke filled the air, and the thick smoke buried Martinu's fat body, but even so, Bergette didn't dare to relax in the slightest. With this level of attack, how could it be possible to hurt Angel? Even if it is enough to instantly kill the attacks that exist below the 11th dimension, for Angel, it is just a move that raises dust. The next second, a gust of wind blew up. The thick smoke around Angel Martinu dissipated, and a layer of pure white light emerged around her body. This light is the light brought by Angel's power and divine skills. To be precise, it is very similar to Ultra Instinct's peak light, but it is very different. Similarly, her combat strength in Bergette's eyes has also changed a bit. The combat power value, which was still unchanged, has undergone some changes at this moment. From 100 positive to 200 positive. Because of emotional fluctuations, it caused her hidden power to leak. This is just the tip of the iceberg of this fat woman's terrifying strength. As expected of Angel's power, looking at your current posture, are you going to bomb me? Feeling the dangerous light emanating from Angel Martinu, all the cells in Bergette's body were ready for battle state, became very tense. Under this light, although his Super Saiyan 5th order is more dazzling, it is indeed slightly inferior. Bombardment. Haha. Do you think that with your strength, it is necessary for me to deal with it seriously? I said, killing you is just a blink of an eye. It can block my attack and avoid it. You are already proud of my attack. With a condensed eye, Angel Martinu's icy killing intent was fully revealed. Then give it a try. I'm standing here, waiting for you to kill me in the blink of an eye. With a grin, a dazzling dark blue light ignited in the white arrogance around Bergette's body. Wang. An extremely strong, tempered to the extreme divine power surged wildly under the mobilization of Bergette's thoughts. On the basis of the 5th order peak limit of Super Saiyan, at this time, the power of God that he has cultivated for many years is superimposed on it. Advertisement. It's fusion, so to speak. The perfect harmony between the power of blood and the power of God, under the blending, not only makes oneself stronger, but also allows oneself to reach a higher realm. In the void of the boundless world, the sacred and wonderful voice of God suddenly sounded. That rich dark blue radiance represents the power of the third order Super Saiyan blue color to break through the boundaries. Bergette, at this moment, her strength was once again stimulated by the auxiliary, and it began to skyrocket. That's it, in front of Angel Martinu's absolute murderous aura. The dark blue light and the white light are constantly mixed and transformed. Although, not to the point of complete fusion, but at this time, Bergette's breath has climbed to a more terrifying level than before. 500 IE. On top of the strength, it is 10 times stronger. This is given by the power of God, and it is also the power that Bergette has after transcending the bondage of blood. The state of the fifth stage of Super Saiyan is still maintained, but a small part of the hair is rendered light blue by the power of this deep God. Is the power of God superimposed on your own power, but even so, so what? The ending will not change. What you see is just the tip of the iceberg that Angel has shown you. Perhaps aware of the threat posed by the current Bergette, Angel Martinu did not take the initiative to attack in the next second, but began to liberate her strength. Don't presume to assert the limits of human beings, even if you are Angel. I can surpass God, and I can also surpass you, fat woman. He has always been despised by Martinu, and Bergette's verbal blow is no less. Holding it with one hand, layers of vibrations came from the void, and the dark blue light and the white light madly condensed and rhythmically moved under the mobilization of his thoughts. You're courting death. Perhaps stimulated by the word, fat woman, the power of Angel in Martinu continued to grow, eventually converging into a super-sized giant. The appearance of this giant is exactly the same as Martinu himself. This skill reminded Bergette of the original work. Son Goku unintentionally displayed the ability to materialize energy after mastering Ultra Instinct. It seems that this skill, as long as it is an angel, can do it. The energy is transformed into a giant's posture, and it is not very good. He deliberately magnifies his ugly posture so that everyone can see it clearly. He is really a guy with no style. The energy in Bergette's palm suddenly expanded for several laps, the energy circle visible to the naked eye kept shrinking in the palm, the energy was constantly transformed and condensed, and finally liberated. Severe energy wave. With an angry shout, the blue and white energy beam in Bergette's palm shot out. At the moment of leaving the palm, it expanded dozens of times, and even expanded to a diameter of 100 meters away, and the terrifying impact of power made the ring underfoot shake and shatter. This is the power of the 12th Yuan level, and no ordinary thing can resist such a deterrent. Boom. The deafening roar came, the energy collided with Martinu's physical giant, and the terrifying coercion shot towards the four directions. Lightning was scattered all over, the aftermath was turbulent, and the ring under his feet was constantly dented. This seemed to be enough to destroy the entire universe's energy attack, but it couldn't shake Martinu, who was Angel. The pressure felt more and more intense. Bergette clenched her teeth and fought it out. He raised his left hand and released it again to cut off the energy wave. Boom. Another energy beam shot out, and the two energies blended in an instant and became one. The diameter of the supercut energy wave expanded more than once again. But even so, it only made Martinu's energy giant take a step back. Advertisement. Hehe. The ant's mortal power is just that, even if it has the power of a god, it's still just an ant. A sinister and evil smile appeared on Martinu's face. The playful gaze looked at Bergette, as if watching a clown perform, full of contempt and disdain. We Angel existed before the universe was born. I have witnessed the evolution of human beings from monkeys to the present, and your ugly posture makes me even more disgusted. A rude beast should be locked in a cage, until he dies. The voice fell, a gleam of light flashed in Martinu's eyes, and the angel's power surged around her again. The energy giant obeyed her instructions and waved his arms sharply. At this moment, that terrifying power has reached 1,000 positive units. The loud noise of boom, the terrifying energy wave that was enough to subvert everything, was also scattered by this overwhelming energy impact, turning into stars scattered in the sky in the void. The nirvana was dissolved so easily, and a look of anticipation appeared on Bergette's face. Even though the apparent combat power seemed to be similar, the sudden outbreak of Angel Martinu could still easily suppress him. Next, let this end. With a thought, Martinu's killing intent emerged, and she held the scepter and lifted it up. The energy giant also made the same move as her. The energy materialized into a scepter and held it in his hand. In your mortal cognition, the stronger the strength is, the better the battle will be determined. How can you who have been stubborn in this way understand what kind of state Angel is in? Trying to challenge Angel is too stupid. 35 voices falling down, the scepter in Angel Martinu's hand aimed at the ring under his feet and slammed down. The terrifying force came to the center of the ring in an instant, and spread in all directions at an alarming speed. Boom. The shock wave of terror that was enough to subvert everything spread rapidly and filled the air. The arena under his feet collapsed instantly, and countless huge cracks spread in all directions, constantly expanding and increasing. This supergiant arena, which was just made with super Cassin, was able to carry the 11th dimensional warriors to fight with all their strength, but now, under the devastating blow of Angel Martinu, it was directly torn apart, and there is no suspense. Bergette was affected by this terrifying blow, and her body flew out uncontrollably under the terrifying 1.5 impact. Such a terrifying blow of destruction made all the gods and people of universe sweat for Bergette. The arena of no boundary, because this devastating blow was completely destroyed, Bergette's breath has completely disappeared. Even if she is in the arena, I am afraid that she is not lightly injured. The viewing area of the 9th universe. He's really a guy who is beyond his own power. He thinks that he can do whatever he wants if he surpasses God. Although it is really amazing, but he is so arrogant as to challenge Angel. This kind of self-defeating thing is self-inflicted. He can obviously carry the title of champion of the Power Conference. Mighty. Ridiculous. Supreme Kai Luo sneered at Bergette, constantly mocking Bergette's stupid behavior. This idiot is just a guy who bullies the soft and fears the hard. As the universe with the lowest value among the 12 universes, it can be seen what kind of thing Supreme Kai is. Even the gods are garbage, let alone the people who manage the universe. And in the original work, he is also the lowest Supreme Kai. There is no one, even the Supreme Kai of the 7th universe is far above it. I thought there would be a good show waiting for us to wait and see, but I didn't expect it to end so soon. That Bergette, I'm afraid he has already fallen under the killing blow of Lord Angel. Red Wolf Basil folded his arms and casually said. Hey, it seems yes, his breath has completely disappeared, and he dares to challenge Angel. This feat is indeed worthy of admiration, but it is also the fastest way to seek death. Yellow Wolf Lavanda, he smiled sullenly. Second, third, shut up. At this time, as the boss of the dangerous trio, Bergamo behaved very abnormally. His eyes were dignified, and he locked the ring that had been torn apart. Obviously, he did not believe that Bergette would fall into Angel's hands so easily. Chapter 130 Defeated. No. Open black lens bracket subscription close black lens bracket. Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. The boss of the most dangerous trio, Bergamo is obviously not as stupid as his two younger brothers. He knew that Bergette was doing something big right now. Once it does, it's the beginning of changing the lives of all universes. Basil. Big brother, don't you think that Bergette is still alive? This is Angel's blow. Lavanda. Brother, is it possible? Before Lavanda could finish speaking, he was gagged by Bergamo's warning eyes. The two of you, as spectators, just keep your mouth shut and watch this game. Don't make any comments. Our 9th universe is the first universe to be eliminated in the Power Conference. It's not too embarrassing enough, right? Bergamana, the words of resentment fell, making all the contestants of the 9th universe feel ashamed. The first one is eliminated, that means the last one. Bergamo is right. As the first universe to be eliminated, and the most rubbish universe among the 8 universes, what qualifications do they have to judge the champion of the Power Conference? Moreover, Bergette is not a god, just a person, but he has done things that even gods dare not do. Instead of admiring such a character, they are ridiculed here. This kind of villainous act should not appear in their universe. Body. For the strong, the most basic reverence should be maintained, especially the existence like Bergette, should not be ridiculed, and they should not be jealous. Bergamo is right. Just watch it quietly, don't speak, don't judge, because we are not qualified to judge people stronger than us. As gods of destruction Sidra of the 9th universe, at this time, the sound echoed. With this reassurance from gods of destruction, the entire 9th universe kept silent, even the vile Supreme Kai Luo shut up. Angel Mojito of the 9th universe didn't pay attention to the few people on the side, his eyes fixed on the ring. On the dilapidated ring, Mojito seemed to have found something, his eyelids twitched, and then the corners of his mouth undulated slightly. It seems that this game between Angel and mortals will not end so quickly. At least, this mortal is stronger than we imagined. Martinu, don't lose. If you lose, then you are Angel who was shuffled first. Close black lens bracket. With a thought in his heart, Mojito couldn't help raising his eyes and looked at the distinguished Grand Priest above. At this moment, the Grand Priest seemed to sense his gaze, and the sudden glance scared him to the point of losing his soul. On the viewing area of the 11th universe. It's a pity that Bergette, I'm afraid that Angel's destructive blow, bloody, completely disappeared. This battle, from the beginning, has no meaning. Won the championship of the Power Conference. It should be low-key. Wouldn't it be nice to go back to one's own universe and go to Pride Eye? 35 Gods of Destruction Vermut seems to have identified Bergette's failure. It could even be said that, from the beginning, he didn't believe Bergette would win. Angel, this is the existence that appeared before the universe was born. Their power is far beyond the comparison of mere mortals. Even if he is a gods of destruction, in front of any angel, he appears as insignificant as an ant. Although Angel ostensibly serves gods of destruction, this is all because of the demands of the position and job. Advertisement. It really pissed Angel off. The mere gods of destruction was nothing, and if it was not pleasing to the eye, it was replaced. Even the breath disappeared. I'm afraid. I really fell. Supreme Kai Kai said with cold sweat on his forehead. Although they couldn't believe it, the fact was right in front of them. Bergette fell. No, he wouldn't lose to Angel so easily. If he was so fragile, he wouldn't have challenged Angel in the first place. At this moment, Jiren, who had been taciturn, suddenly opened his mouth and explained to Bergette. His words instantly aroused the shock of everyone on the 11th universe side. Huh. Everyone's eyes turned to Jiren's side involuntarily, and their eyes were full of incredible. Does Jiren think that this battle has another ending? I fought with that guy, so I clearly know how unfathomable his strength is. Don't use common sense to speculate about him, Bergette, it is far from what we can guess, just watch it quietly. After speaking, the people of 11th universe can't make any more comments. Because Jiren is the center of their collective, whatever he says is the most infectious and true. Do you even think he still has hope? Is that Bergette really that invulnerable to you? Jiren, there is something I have to tell you, even at the top of gods of destruction, in front of angel, still ants, I think, you should know that too. Gods of destruction Vermut tells a bloody truth. This is what all gods of destruction know, but no one wants to pierce this layer of paper. Only Jiren can make Vermut open his heart to say all this. But even though Vermut was so blatant about how powerful Angel was, Jiren remained unmoved. He knows everything he should know, and he knows everything he should know. Because this fight really meant a lot to him, and he gave Bergette all his confidence. To be honest, he hadn't even surpassed gods completely, he just stood at the top of the gods of destruction realm. And Bergette transcends God. A challenge to a being greater than God, Angel, is a battle that means a lot to them, both strong and human. No one wants to see Bergette lose, because once Bergette succeeds, it means that the limits of human beings are far beyond that. Surpassing God is not the point, but just the beginning. You who can defeat me will never lose so easily, let me see if your scorching heat can even burn Angel. Jiren thought to himself, and clenched his fists at the same time. It can be seen that now how nervous he was. It seems that as I really told Jiren-san, Saiyan of the 6th universe is not so easy to lose, not only that. Martinu seems to be in trouble. At this time, Angel Makari Tower's remarks caused everyone in the 11th universe to be shocked. Angel said that, doesn't that mean, Bergette, it's okay. Can he still fight? 7th universe here. The hearts of everyone present were raised in their throats, they did not dare to slack off in the slightest, they were fully focused, and all their energy was concentrated on one point. Hey, Vegeta, you said, the two of us fused into Gogeta again, are merged into Vegeta, can we stop this blow? Looking at the torn ring, Son Goku secretly swallowed a mouthful of saliva and said yes. Vegeta asked. Advertisement. Humph. You ask me, who am I going to ask? There are no such meaningless thoughts in my mind. Vegeta gritted her teeth, trembling all over her body. He is also dying for face. Where would he not know, let alone block this kind of attack, even if he was attacked by the aftermath, he would instantly turn into a puddle of flesh. The strength of Gogeta and Vegeta is very strong, but compared with Bergette, the gap is too big. If even Bergette can't withstand this blow, what is their fusion or fusion? Shit no. To be honest, I didn't expect that there was a 5th order Super Saiyan transformation, and Bergette also superimposed the Super Saiyan Blue 3rd order, the power of the gods to break through the boundaries, the fusion of the two energies, the power of birth is enough to 1A finger crushed our fusion or fusion, but this power was suppressed by that angel named Martinu. Cold sweat fell from his forehead, and in just a few minutes, Son Goku's 3 views were refreshed again, he clearly realized how small and fragile he is now. Before the power conference, he thought he was invincible and universe was invincible, but the truth gave him a big mouth. Not to mention Bergette surpassing the gods, just one Jiren overwhelmed him. Their fusion and fit were far from forcing Bergette to come up with real skills. Stop talking nonsense, Kakarot, what's the use of sighing now, just watch as a bystander. The more we talk, the weaker we are. Vegeta retorted impatiently. Honestly, he regrets it now, very much. Ever since Bergette showed the stance of the 5th rank of Super Saiyan, he regretted following Whis to practice divine power. If he did not choose to practice with Whis at first, but instead develop the power of Saiyan's blood in his body, he might really be able to evolve again, directly surpassing the 3rd level of Super Saiyan and entering the realm of the 4th level of Super Saiyan. Even Super Saiyan Tier 5. That kind of pure power and breath makes him yearn very much. If he cultivates Super Saiyan, he will definitely be stronger than now. Even, Vegeta is very confident in his bloodline. If he masters the 4th rank of Super Saiyan, it will not take long. He can also become Super Saiyan Tier 5. If he had mastered the Super 5 powers, he would not dare to pretend that he was comparable to Bergette, but he would definitely be able to wrestle with Jiren. He even pressed and beat Jiren. The gods of destruction Beerus and Whis on the side were silent, watching the battle quietly. Even if they don't show the slightest emotional fluctuations on the surface, their inner emotions are very rich. Your light should not be limited to this, right? Those two forces are not yet 100% fusion, your real idea should be to use the pressure brought by Angel to make yourself a breakthrough, Really dare to think. A little carelessness can lead to disaster. Close black lens bracket Beerus admired Bergette in his heart at this moment. Think of Angel as a stepping stone on which you can continue to improve. Throughout the ages, this is the only one. The fusion of the two forces seems to be more perfect after this impact. It seems that the good drama is about to begin. Close black lens bracket the corners of his mouth waved slightly, Whis seemed to have encountered what kind of wonderful battle would happen later. The angel Martinu, who has been at odds with them for a long time, is going to be in trouble. 6th universe here. Hey hello. What are you kidding? Is the power of this blow so terrifying? The arena that held the battles of countless strong men was just smashed. 35 Califla's forehead was dripping with cold sweat. Look. Seeing the dilapidated and broken arena, Bergette broke into a cold sweat in her heart. Brother Bergette, I'm afraid it's true this time. Before Gabe finished speaking, he instantly found a cold gaze locked on him, accompanied by a strong killing intent. Gabe, if you dare to say one more word, I will kill you with my own hands. That strong and profound killing intent came from Kair. From the end of the game to now, she has been following Gabe, and she can see that Gabe, this bastard, has been eager to see what happened to Brother Bergette since the 7th universe was eliminated. Anyone who dares to question Bergette is her enemy. Advertisement. Kyle sang, calm down, it's not now. Kair in front of him moved with killing intent, which made Gabe panic. Suddenly, a deep chill spread from the soles of Gabe's feet to the whole body, and the source of that chill came from Demon King Hill. This king's eyes can see through a person's heart and read his thoughts. Boy, I haven't cared about you before because this king is not interested in ants, but you can't wait to let Bergette die. You really are we from the 6th universe. They are also Bergette's juniors. Demon King Hill's words were filled with strong murderous intent. Obviously, she was provoked by Gabe. This kind of behavior like the anti-bone boy made Demon King Hill really angry. Originally, as a contestant in the power tournament, this guy wanted his universe to lose the game. Now Bergette is challenging Angel. This kid doesn't worry about it, but he wants to let Bergette lose. Her eyes are not ordinary eyes, they can see 140% of a person's heart and understand that person's thoughts. From the beginning, she has seen Gabe's changes in her eyes. She just didn't want to bother with the ants, and for the sake of Gabe and Bergette's family, she let this kid live until now. Unexpectedly, he is getting bigger and bigger. Being with Bergette, but wanting Bergette to lose the game, I really doubt whether you are a Saiyan. Forget it, no matter how much you say, it is nonsense, let me kill you. His killing intent was exposed, he grabbed Gabe's neck domineeringly, and violently lifted him up. His own strength is far more than that of Gabe in more than one dimension. Even if Gabe's strength is not bad, it is not Paraton's power to become the 2nd tier of Super Saiyan. Paraton really wants to kill him, it's easy. Stop. You can't kill me. I'm not wrong at all, the fault is Bergette. If it wasn't for him, this farce wouldn't have happened. If he lost, our 6th universe would also be lost jokes for other universes. Even facing punishment, Gabe panicked, completely panicked. When Paraton lifted him up, the feeling of powerlessness and tension filled his heart and made him completely overwhelmed. In this kid's opinion, Bergette is wrong, he is right. He is always, all right. As soon as these words came out, everyone's eyes on Gabe changed. Even the silent killer gave Gabe a murderous look. What is it that Bergette did wrong? Their universe was able to stay until now, and it was not eliminated by Lord Zeno, thanks to Bergette's assistance. If it weren't for Bergette, they would have lost long ago. Jiren alone could crush them all, let alone the one from the 7th universe. The Fusion Warrior Gogeta and the Fusion Warrior Vegeta are here. Gabe, but I misjudged you. I thought you must have done something wrong for some reason, but now it doesn't seem to be, you, just a traitor. There will actually be a guy like Gabe in the middle. It was in vain that Brother Bergette gave him advice in the early years, so that he could become Super Saiyan and become stronger. Ha 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 ha. If Bergette knew that her clan wanted him to die, what kind of expression would she have? Well, I'll help him and kill this little guy. He laughed disdainfully, the killing intent in his eyes revealed. This time, he really saw that Gabe was unhappy and wanted to kill. However, at this critical moment, a mutation suddenly occurred. On the arena of the boundless world, dark blue and silver white energy beams suddenly rose from the ground. The vast power and dazzling brilliance are reflected in everyone's eyes. Chapter 131 Breaking the Power of Angel with One Punch. Open black lens bracket subscription close black lens bracket. Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. Paladin, who was just about to kill the killer, was deeply attracted by the appearance of this light, and his eyes were full of shock and amazement. He let go of his hand subconsciously, giving Gabe a chance to break free and escape. Gabe, who escaped the catastrophe, looked at the boundless brilliance of the boundless world in shock. Can't go wrong. That's the light that belongs to Bergette. This, impossible, he is not dead. Gabe's pupils shook violently, unable to believe the scene in front of him. Bergette, killed by Angel Martino, didn't die. Not only that, but, it seems to be getting stronger. Finally waited for this moment. Let me see how strong you really are. Bergette, you are really enviable and hateful. Champa has been waiting for a long time, with a hideous smile on his face. He didn't care at all about the disputes caused by the few people beside him just now. Shaking because of a Gabe would be stupid. What he really cares about is what happened to Bergette. Now it seems that the kid has not disappointed him. This powerful force is even more terrifying than before. It is not impossible to deal with Angel. Of course, I don't care, it doesn't mean that he won't settle accounts with Gabe later. This kid has already caused the murder of gods of destruction. What Champa hates most is the traitor. Because of the energy beam that runs through the realm of nothingness, the solemn look on Vado's face disappeared, replaced by a smile. The worries in my heart are also eliminated, and my face is no longer sad. Open black lens bracket. You still haven't let me down, Bergette. You are really an unfathomable man. This re-blooming light is far more dazzling than any previous release. Martino, you must not show mercy. If you are a little careless, you will die. If you lose to Bergette, can you still hold your face? Angel Vados is very happy at this moment. Because of the dazzling level of this light, it was enough for Angel to face it. As Martino, who was at the last stage of the 12 angels, he had to be more careful in dealing with it. If he was a little careless, he would even lose his life. Above the void, Grand Priest was stunned by this blooming light. Is this the light of mankind? When the power of man and the power of God are combined with each other, a light that is comparable to angel can be born. Since the birth of the universe to the present, no one has ever been able to achieve this reincarnation. Now this step, Bergette, although you are not of this world, but you are, the first person ever. The Grand Priest was amazed at the dazzling light. Even the light of God is not as dazzling as this mortal light. Perhaps, there will really be a mortal in this world who is comparable to angel, or even stronger than angel. Further above, the two Xeno were excited and danced under the strong visual impact brought by the dazzling light. Xeno in the future. What a dazzling light. So powerful, so dazzling. 35. Xeno of the local time and space. A battle more fierce than before is about to begin. It's shocking. It's exciting. The 4 Xeno guards on the side were involuntarily sweating on their foreheads. It has existed for an unknown number of years, and has always been by Xeno's side. This dazzling and burning light has only been seen on the body of the Grand Priest. Moreover, tens of billions of years have passed since the Grand Priest's radiance. Such a magnificent scene, I did not expect to be able to reproduce at this moment, and it is still on the body of a human. As servants, they were looking forward to this for the first time, and they also paid so much attention to a mortal. Advertisement. Perhaps, a mortal who can match Angel in the true sense will really appear. On the ring, Angel Martino stared at the dazzling light, opened his mouth slightly, and felt awe and disbelief. She felt a deadly threat from this light. Unlike the previous ease, this power is already very close to her full strength. Woo! Suddenly, an aurora shot out from the light, hitting directly in the direction of Martino. Such a sudden attack made Martino, who was Angel, too late to defend, and subconsciously turned his face. Puff! That purple blood floated in the space. A small wound appeared on Martino's face. The slight tingling sensation on his face made Martino's pupils shrink suddenly, his mouth opened wide, and his face was full of horror and disbelief. What followed was the boundless anger and deep shame. She was actually injured. As an angel, she was traumatized by a mortal person. Martino's injury was also seen by the gods and angels of various universes. What a shock this scene is. In the viewing area, Angel couldn't help it. Ah, tired. Can Martino do it? He was hurt by a mortal that he looked down on, and he even lost his appearance. I'm afraid he will be embarrassed in the future. Angel Kess of the 10th universe took this opportunity to start satirizing Martino. This damn fat woman, she has long been disliked. It stands to reason that she is the eldest sister in Angel, and she is also Martino, who dares to show her face. Every time they meet, they will brag about their universe, and from time to time they will use their own universe as a comparison. Since the incident with Zamasu, she has been teased a lot by the fat woman Martino, and now she has seized the opportunity and can be ridiculed well. Allah, my dear Martino, why are you still injured? It seems that the strongest person in our universe is not so easy to deal with. It even made you bleed as Angel, and you may not be able to fight. The rhetoric of killing Bergette is too much. Angel Vados went too far, and started her own poisonous tongue skills, crazy yin and yang. Martino was injured and Angel Vados was overjoyed. Now Vados is snickering in his heart, and he can't help but feel that Bergette played beautifully. Hit this fat woman hard for me, and make her look ashamed. Martinison, you don't seem to be seriously injured. Do you want to come down and rest for a while, and let me fight the Saiyan from the 6th universe for you for a while? Angel Makalita from the 11th universe is even more excessive. Directly asked Martino to withdraw. The angels of the other universe, silent, just kept smiling, watching the injured Martino. Of course, there is also the faction of Martino. Between angels, there is an intrigue that no one could have imagined. Among them, Martino, the damn fat woman, was the most unpleasant. Except for very few angels, almost all female angels have had a holiday with her. No way. This fat woman's mouth is too poisonous, and she likes to offend people, which also makes other universe angels have no good impression of her. It's just a little skin trauma, and it's not a big problem, but this is already a deep shame for Martino. As a high-ranking angel, he was injured by the mortals he despised and bled. Now being mocked by his companions again, only killing Bergette can wash away this shame. Advertisement. No, she wants to smash its corpse into 10,000 pieces, and also wants to play with the soul to shatter, and then destroy it. Wang. In the realm of nothingness, the profound power of God and the light of human power blended with each other, gradually being restrained and withdrawn into Bergette's body. When all the light was gone, Bergette stood in a new position. At this moment, his strength has increased sharply again, and his entire body has once again undergone transformation. The form is still the 5th level of Super Saiyan, but the long silver-white hair that reaches the waist has been rendered into a deep blue by the majestic energy of the 3rd level of Super Saiyan Blue, the breakthrough of the boundary, which is as dazzling as sapphire. Super 5 posture, dark blue hair, breath like God's chi, but also similar to humans' chi. Maintaining the gesture of energy release, the corners of Bergette's mouth undulated slightly, revealing a confident and disdainful look. He finally made it this far. Although it was not what he expected, it was more than enough to deal with Martino now. It turns out that Angel also bleeds. I thought you were invincible, but now it seems that I just think too much. Every word of Bergette's words is like a sharp blade, piercing the horse fiercely. Tinu's heart ripped off her flesh and blood. Shut up, mortal. Martino, who was completely red-eyed, had a strong layer of black energy appearing all over his body. Obviously, this was because his heart was occupied by anger, his breath had changed, and he was in a level of blackening. In Bergette's eyes, her combat power value changed again. As the saying goes, blackening is 10 times stronger, and whitening is weaker by 3 points. Martino is indeed blackened, and his combat power has indeed increased tenfold. In Bergette's eyes, the combat power value displayed is as high as 5,000 positive. The latter part of the 12th element. It's a lot of power, and the terrifying killing intent, but you seem to have lost some of the rules Angel was supposed to follow. A smile appeared on her face, and Bergette was ready to go. It's true that Martino's combat strength has increased tenfold, but he is not afraid, and he doesn't even care. Because there are such strong emotional fluctuations, it means that Martino's original posture has disappeared. It is equal to the current she, which is better to deal with than the previous her. This dead fat woman has been unable to keep her heart like a mirror, and her magical skills are now in vain, giving Bergette a chance to counterattack. What about the rules? This game stipulates that it is a battle of life and death for us. Even if the rules are violated, I will be fine. It's you. You dare to hurt my beautiful face, such a crime is unforgivable. Only your life can wash away the shame and take your crimes with you. Go to hell. An angry shout contained the boundless anger of Angel Martino. The angel energy giant she had condensed swelled again, reaching a terrifying height of several thousand meters, and the might even swayed the boundless world, as if it was about to explode. The energy giant clenched his fist, and the boundless divine power gathered in the fist, which was continuously compressed and condensed. The power of space even began to be used by her. It's ridiculous. You don't think that you are the only one who has mastered the power of space, right? I will too. With a hideous smile on his face, Bergette mobilized the power of space in an instant, and appeared in Angel Marty in an instant, in front of Nu. Looking at the sudden appearance of Bergette, Angel Martino was furious, and the power of space was mobilized, forming countless sharp blades to wrap Bergette's body, and then stabbed away. This seemed to block all attacks, mercilessly running through Bergette's body. But, is it really what it looks like? This kind of dead-end attack is indeed terrifying. But the power of space is used to a certain extreme. Bergette seems to be here, but not here. Then there's the fact that Martino's attack seemed to work, but in fact, it didn't penetrate Bergette's body at all. That's what you do. As Angel, you should be more than that. Take it all out and let me take a good look. Angrily glaring at Martino, Bergette raised her hand. The energy continues to increase and expand, the power of terror, the universe reverses, and the world changes color. Want me to face your attack? You are not qualified yet. Playing with the power of the law in front of Angel, courting death. Martino's performance is already a bit crazy. Bergette's attack, in her opinion, was not worth mentioning. Advertisement. Even the current Bergette has the same strength as her. But she is still disdainful. Then try it. My trick, you have to taste it. The original palm suddenly turned into a fist. In an instant, the entire space was instantly twisted by Bergette's power, and the area surrounding Martino was instantly pulled together, like a piece of paper being pinched into a ball of paper. Martino, right in the center. Such a terrifying method once again shocked everyone present, God and Angel. Of course, neither man nor God can fully understand this power, but Angel understands it. The angels all sighed in their hearts that Bergette has reached this state, and she is not only strong and physical, but also the power of space is so handy. However, as an angel, Martino could never be easily suppressed by the mere power of space. The space that was like a giant paper ball suddenly burst into a dazzling white light. Just dazzling. Boom. An explosion sounded. The space that was originally twisted together was directly cracked by Martino's angel's power. This space seemed to have disappeared, and Martino also reappeared in this position. The scene is spectacular, yes, but Martino is somewhat embarrassed. It seems that the gap between us has shrunk to almost zero. With narrowed eyes, Bergette didn't take it seriously. This hand is just a test. It is obviously impossible to suppress Angel. Unless it's a serious injury that can't be recovered. Damn ants. You annoyed Ben Angel. Accept Angel's judgment. Raise the Angel's scepter in his hand, and Martino wields the power of God. The condensed Angel's body clenched his giant fist and slammed down. Along the way, the space collapsed, and everything seemed to be annihilated. This kind of method, don't continue to use it to shame. Do you really think I can't do anything about you? 35 With an angry shout, Bergette clenched her fists, and the terrifying power quickly gathered, forming a dazzling mass golden light. Single quote exclamation mark 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 exclamation mark. Facing the huge fist that went straight down, Bergette's fist slammed straight up. This, learned from Jiren's punch. However, Bergette's punch is more terrifying and incredible. The perfect combination of the power of blood and the power of God gives Bergette the power to shatter everything. It seems that he is very small, but his existence is actually countless times stronger than this energy body. Kaka, kaka, kaka. Warehouse. It was like a crack on the ground, and the sound of broken glass continued to sound. The huge energy body, after the fist bump with Bergette, appeared cracks, and the cracks became more and more, and the whole body seemed to collapse in the next second. With just one punch, it shattered Martinu's angel's power. Chapter 132 Limit Space, Obliterate Everything. Open black lens bracket subscription close black lens bracket. Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. The power of angel that fills the sky scatters in the void of the boundless like starlight, dazzling and eye-catching. Just like the stars in the universe twinkling, it is extremely beautiful. Of course, the beautiful appearance, in fact, even the power of these scattered angels carries unparalleled destructive power. It just didn't explode, and it slowly faded away with time. Angel's energy body was completely destroyed by Bergette's heavy punch. At this moment, not only Angel Martinu was shocked, but all the gods and angel were shocked and couldn't melt their mouths. Too shocking. You know, this is not as simple as divine power, this is the power of angel. It was shattered so easily. In the hearts of all existence, there is only one thought, and that is the current Bergette, is this guy really as simple as a human being? Martinu, who was shattered by Angel's divine power, became even more obsessed because of this. In her eyes, this despised mortal actually has the power to stand up to her. Moreover, in terms of controlling the power of the law, it is not lower than himself. It is even more than that. No, it's impossible. I don't believe it. The scene in front of him deeply stimulated Angel's dignity, and Martinu's eyes widened in shock. As the supreme angel, she is now unable to suppress even the humble human beings. The Bergette, who was despised by him and completely despised before, is now suppressing her in turn. This is a shame. Anger surged in his heart. Martinu gritted his teeth, and once again mobilized his control over the power of the law. The power of the surging space law this time is more terrifying than before, and even the void is shaking. I don't believe it. You can even stop this move. Along with the space of the boundless world, let's be smashed together. Martinu's eyes are completely red, and the angel scepter is flashing in his hand. The dazzling light and the majestic power of space are being continuously gathered by her. Huge white rays of light emerge from nothingness, and the terrifying power even set off layers of waves in the world of nothingness that could subvert everything. This energy, as she said, is enough to completely subvert the space of Wujerji. This red-eyed mad woman no longer cares about anyone's life, she just wants to kill Bergette here. What a mad woman, even the entire realm of nothingness may not be enough for you to blow up with such a vast energy. Feeling such a deadly crisis, Bergette frowned. Such attacks are terrifying but not without a solution. He also mastered the laws of space, and his proficiency is definitely not under Angel 140 Martinu. With such a huge amount of energy condensed, he knew at a glance where the shortcomings were. When Martino is completely red-eyed and wants to destroy everything, it is when she is doomed. In the realm of nothingness at this moment, the wind swept the clouds, the sand and stones danced wildly, the space was constantly torn apart by this strange energy, and it kept wailing like a beast. Bergette understands that this angel is already at the end of the shot, and if he is in a single form, I am afraid that he can only wait for death in place, but now, he has perfectly fused the two forces of bloodline power and divine power, and can handle it completely. Angel Martinu and himself have mastered the power of space law, but now Martinu's mind is all focused on the convergence of this terrifying space power, forgetting the real scary part of space law, the subtle and flexible use. Saiyan, this space has already been blocked by me, how long can you last? Obediently die. Angel Martinu sneered, although her nirvana was not completely condensed, but at this moment, she has already given up and exerted such a huge power of space law. Even if the next price will be very expensive, as long as Bergette can be killed, everything is meaningful. Angel, can't lose. Can't lose. Advertisement. Nor will she be the first angel to be shuffled. In the next second, the interior of the space that wrapped the entire broken arena suddenly changed abruptly. Countless space tunnels have been opened, and no one knows what the space tunnel is connected to and what it is used for. Angel Martino glanced at Bergette playfully, and rushed into the largest space tunnel opened by her, disappearing. Space crushes everything and can completely turn an object into nothingness. This is Angel Martinu's absolute killer move. She wanted to make Bergette into nothingness and leave nothing behind. Even the soul is completely dead. Faced with this situation, Bergette looked stunned, but still maintained a calm mentality. Calmly observed the surrounding, looking for the best time to shoot at any time. At the same time, almost all universe exploded, and everyone began to discuss. 10th Universe's viewing area. Whoops. Martinasong, I didn't expect you to have such a day, you will be forced into a corner by the human beings you despise. This is really ironic. With such a huge power of space law, this is probably your tens of billions. It's the first time in years to use it. Angel Kessie looked at Martinu, who was hiding in the space tunnel, with a playful look. Even though Martinu Bebef disappeared, she could clearly know and see where it was. The power of this space law is terrifying, but it has not really been exercised to the extreme. There are too many shortcomings, and the fat woman Martinu does not know how to hide. She could see at a glance, where is the fatal flaw in the posture of such a huge space law power. It's up to Saiyan to seize this opportunity. Martinu's greatest weakness is exposed at the same time as she uses her nirvana. If it can be caught, then the situation can be reversed in an instant, and Martinu can be killed in turn. At this moment, in the audience, gods of destruction Rumsshi, Supreme Kai Kavas and 10 contestants of 10th universe are all dumbfounded. Cold sweat continued to flow down from their foreheads, and their hearts were already extremely nervous. They had never seen such a vast power of space law in their life, and they had a new understanding of Angel's terrifying and powerful. Annoying an Angel, let the other party show his real skills. A devastating disaster for anyone. That Saiyan, is there really a way to deal with it? All human beings, including the gods, began to get nervous. 11th universe. What a powerful force of space. Once this force spreads, it will push the boundless world into destruction. Martinuson, it seems that he is crazy enough to blow up even us. Really, it's not just a little joke, this person is really small. Angel Makalita complained with a dissatisfied face. Anyone can hear it, Makalita is in the yin and yang of disgusting Martinu. The same as Angel, Makarita is even in a higher dimension than Martinu, how could it be timid and afraid of this seemingly mighty power of space law? However, considering that the gods of destruction and the contestants on her side might be affected, Makarita waved her divine scepter, and the power of Angel turned into a protective barrier, protecting them all. In this way, even if the power of this terrifying law explodes, they will be fine. Advertisement. Jiren. Suddenly, Toppo noticed that Jiren's eyes had become very sharp, and after hesitating for a while, he couldn't help exclaiming. In his sight, at this moment, Jiren has clenched his fists tightly, his eyes are cold, and his eyes are full of strong unwillingness. He just swapped his position with Bergette. What would happen if he were to face Angel Martinu's fatal blow? There is only one answer, it must be dead. The gap between dimensions is too huge, even if it exceeds the limit, he will not be left with a single cell that will be wiped out by the power of this violent law. Your popularity, your limit should never stop here. Go beyond her completely. Bergette, let those guys on the top see clearly that mortals should not be underestimated, not only can surpass God, but also can beyond Angel. Jiren poured her own beliefs into Bergette. What he couldn't do, he wanted to see someone else do. As a human, he may be in a realm that even gods of destruction dare not underestimate, but he is regarded as an ant by Angel, and any strong man will never allow himself to be regarded as an ant. Jiren is also the kind of person who is unwilling to give in to fate, even if he does everything he can to make a change. Let those aloof people see clearly, the light of human beings cannot be underestimated. The viewing area of the 7th universe. At this moment, whether it was Angel, gods of destruction, or the 10 contestants, all were silent. That nervous look is enough to see how nervous they are now. This sense of crisis, this pressure, has never existed before, even the 3 strongest Saiyans among the Z warriors felt a fatal threat. With their eyesight, it is not enough to see what kind of shortcomings this terrifying space power contains, and they only feel the strong murderous intent. Martinu is completely forced, no matter the cost, no matter what the outcome, she now only wants to kill Bergette, what a madman. Feeling the power of such a tricky space law, Beerus also felt the fatal crisis. With his eyesight and experience, he can naturally see the flaws in the power of this huge space, but even so, if it were him, he would only end up being killed. The strength is not enough. Even if you know the flaws and weaknesses, you can't resolve them. This is the gap. In this world, strength is respected, and only strong strength is the truth. Son Goku, Vegeta, and Broly, the 3 Saiyans held their breaths, not daring to relax. But at this moment, the blood in the body suddenly resonated. The 3 of them sensed this strange resonance at the same time, and looked towards the ring in disbelief. They were absolutely certain that the source of this bloodline resonance was Bergette. What did he do? In fact, Bergette didn't do anything. The Saiyan bloodline in the 3 of them suddenly resonated, which was the sustenance of the power in the bloodline. The unyielding will hidden in the ancient blood is pinning on Bergette to help Bergette. If you don't do it again, you will have no chance. Muttering to himself, Whis suddenly used the power of Angel to wrap the audience seat of the 7th universe tightly, preventing anyone from being affected by the slightest energy. No one understood what Whis meant. Whether Angel Martinu will have no chance if he doesn't make a move, or Bergette will be killed if he doesn't take the initiative. Advertisement. 6th universe here. Kale, have you sensed it? Caulifla asked Kale, who was beside her, with a surprised expression. At that moment, the blood in her body began to stir, as if she was carrying out some kind of sustenance ceremony. That sleeping, incomprehensible power was emerging little by little, as if to express the indomitable spirit of their female Saiyan. Well, I also feel it, my elder sister, this feeling has never been felt before. The power that sleeps in our blood is supporting brother Bergette. Kair felt it, and the power of transcendence in his body radiated. That will. The same is true of Gabe on the side, but he is unwilling to admit it, completely unwilling to admit that the power in the blood is supporting Bergette. The strong disgust in his heart and the power of the blood in his body are intertwined, making him extremely strange at this moment, as if he was caught in some kind of torture, and the pain was unbearable. Everyone present was paying attention to Bergette's situation and how to deal with it, and no one cared about Gabe's strange look. Only the most insidious and devious villain, Frost, found this out. This guy is very confused and struggling now, hee. If he is not destroyed after the game, one day in the future, he may be able to use it a little and become a big help for me to rule the universe. Frost put his mind on Gabe. As an elite warrior among the elite of Saiyan clan, Gabe's fighting power is not weak, even higher than him. If it can be used a little, it will be of great help to his future interests. At this moment, Demon King Hill, who was engrossed in the arena, was nervous. His delicate hands like jewels were pierced into flesh and blood by his fingernails, and he didn't even know he was bleeding. She is too focused and too serious. So much so that I almost forgot. Open black lens bracket. Do you still remember the agreement between us? Bergette. Don't lose. The reason for participating in this competition was to let those high-up guys see clearly that those of us from the lower realms are not pawns that they can manipulate arbitrarily. Wong can't have the qualification to challenge Angel like you. You have to fulfill the promise. Turn this place upside down. Hill shouted in her heart. This is her only wish at the moment, and she agrees to participate in this event. The purpose of the Field Power Conference. Let those bastards on the top open their eyes and see clearly, the power of mortals can surpass Angel, and even kill Angel. I have lived for so many years, and this is the first time I have seen a guy like you. Bergette, you are really a guy who cannot be guessed with common sense. This seemingly terrifying power of space law is a paper tiger in front of you, let that aloof angel see. How mortals surpass them. At this moment, Periton is so excited, and he is looking forward to Bergette finally surpassing God's appearance. As a demon, Oza, although his brain is not very bright and his thoughts are immature, but now he is also very hopeful that Bergette can win, beat down the fat woman who is aloof, and even kill him. Open black lens bracket. Faced with this kind of unsolvable situation, how should you deal with it? Close black lens bracket. Hit said solemnly in his heart. As Champa of Gods of Destruction, I'm in a very nervous mood now, but now whatever I say is bullshit, the only thing I can do is to believe in Bergette. Since that damn angel came with the determination to kill Bergette, there's no need to be polite. Even if you really kill that angel, it doesn't matter. Unlike other people, Angel Vados is very worried about Bergette now, because Angel Martinu completely abandons everything. Even Angel of the same level is difficult to deal with. The power of this violent space law, only they are angels who are at the top of these strengths can resolve them. Replacing it with the same level will not work at all. Vados, also through telepathic abilities, wanted to get in touch with Bergette in the ring. However, the mysterious power of space not only blocked the range of Bergette's action, but even blocked Angel's telepathy. This is also, Martinu did something secretly, in order to avoid anyone who would secretly remind or shoot. After all, even if the Grand Priest speaks, no one is allowed to interfere, but the angels are more or less capable. Facts have also proved that such a thing does happen. Martino is not a fool, she is Angel, so she is ready in the morning. Chapter 133. The gods are stunned, Angel is silent. Open black lens bracket. Subscription. Close black lens bracket. Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. The method of mind communication failed, and Vados's mood fluctuated violently. To be honest, she really did not expect that a fat woman like Martino would be so insidious, and she had thought of this step for a long time. Damn Martinu. If Bergette really has something wrong, I will never make your 12th universe better in the future. Don't you want to lower the number of my 6th universe? After the game, no matter what the result is, I will make you the 12th universe pay the price. You, too, will be shuffled sooner or later. Angel Vados has been extremely dissatisfied with Martino. This crazy woman really wants to kill Bergette completely. Not only to destroy Bergette, but also to suppress her 6th universe in disguise. Regardless of the outcome of the match, her revenge against 12th universe and Martino is absolutely indispensable in the future. At the highest point of the void, when Grand Priest saw this scene, he opened his mouth slightly, and a deep meaning appeared on his face. Such a vast power of space law, the average angel may not be able to display it, although he can crack it casually, but for Bergette, who is immortal, it is a huge test. If you can pass, you will get great benefits. If you can't pass, the body will be destroyed, and even the soul will be destroyed. Let me see, the mysterious Bergette-san, how should you deal with this situation? How many surprises can you bring me, who are not from this world? This, but also the test you have to go through. Grand Priest knows that Bergette has unlimited potential and can bring many surprises. But what the limit is, he really wants to see it with his own eyes. The stronger it is, the better it is for him, and the future plan needs to be completed with the help of Bergette's power. Being able to surpass Angel is naturally the best. As the supreme god, as the father of Angel, the average angel is nothing to him at all, and it is optional. He can create countless, and he doesn't care so much. What's more, Countless parallel time-space worlds have countless identical carriers. In the ring, the terrifying power of space became stronger and stronger, but Bergette did not act. He, still waiting for the best time to shoot. Did you give up resisting? Give you a chance, kneel down Saiyan, as long as you kneel, I will immediately dissipate all the space power, so that you can survive. Speaking of which, being able to challenge me is an angel, although the end is a failure, but it's also your honor, isn't it? Angel Martino's sarcastic voice spread, as if disappeared, no trace, but seemed to be everywhere. The words fell into Bergette's ears, making Bergette smile with disdain. The blue veins on his forehead bulged slightly, and to Bergette, there was only one thought, and that was, how come this fat dead woman is still delusional? Is there a hole in her brain? Or is she overconfident? So furious, Bergette didn't. He ignored Martino, but raised his head to look at the 7 space tunnels that were getting bigger and closer. In the next second, his eyes changed drastically, and his fingers swiped in front of him. The 7 space gas bombs that were compressed to the extreme quickly condensed and formed, and flew to the 7 corners of the sky. Do you still want to fight to the death now? Well, mortals are always mortals, how can they understand Angel's kindness? Even if they know the inevitable outcome, they will still resist to the end. Angel Martino on all this expressing ignorance, this move is her strongest space skill. She has accumulated space power and experience for tens of billions of years. How could it be cracked by a human who has lived for less than 100 years? Martino's self-confidence, how huge. In fact, empathy, any existence will be like this. Advertisement. After all, the gap between tens of billions of years and 100 years is too large. Is it really a dying struggle? Then you can see how I cracked your moves. Bergette's thoughts moved, her hands moved closer, and she formed the power of space at a very fast speed. When the power of space condensed and formed, Bergette suddenly shot out this inconspicuous group of space power, which was several times larger than the energy bombs of the 7 space powers he just released. Explode. With a grip of his right hand, Bergette took the initiative to detonate the 8 energy light bombs. Boom. An explosion. The 8 energy light bombs of the power of space exploded in an instant, forming a powerful interference shock wave that spreads in all directions, disrupting all the surrounding energy. In an instant, the space tunnel closest to the close-range explosion was distorted, followed by several space tunnels with varying degrees of distortion. What is this? What did you do? Angel Martino couldn't believe it, suddenly feeling bad. Why did the seemingly inconspicuous 7 space power light bullets affect her nirvana? This is her strongest ultimate move, even a powerhouse of the same level may not be able to crack it, only a higher level angel is qualified to crack this ultimate move. This incredible feeling gave Angel Martino an ominous premonition, even if it was only for a moment, it made her feel uneasy. It was unimaginable that Angel panicked. Facing this human being who could threaten Angel's life, she panicked. The feeling that he had never had before made Martino take a deep breath, and it was difficult to calm down the waves in his heart. Do you really understand the laws of space? How much do you know about the use of space? It doesn't matter the length of time, fool, no amount of time is futile, wise man, just blink, you can comprehend. Bergette said casually with a smile on her face. It seems that it is also stimulating Martino's fragility and garbage. Being asked this way, Angel Martino felt annoyed in her heart. As Angel, she existed before the universe was born. She is a greater existence than gods of destruction. Her knowledge of space can be said to be perfect. How could she not know the laws of space? Bergette, this damn human is humiliating her. Enough. I won't listen to your nonsense as a human, you are just a humble monkey, you who have lived less than 100 years, dare to question me. Death. I will burn you to ashes. Forcibly suppressing the majestic anger in her heart, Angel Martino forcibly destroyed her nirvana. In an instant, the wind was surging, the lightning was dense, and a tunnel formed by a larger space law force swallowed the surrounding tunnels, became even larger, and rolled towards Bergette's position. The huge tunnel, like an endless abyss, seemed to devour everything, making people nervous, and the atmosphere was suppressed to the extreme. Bergette also felt tremendous pressure, and the power of the extremely strong laws contained in this space should not be underestimated. However, Bergette was not worried at all. With a single thought, the more powerful force of the law of space was used. In the entire space, the remaining part of the force of the law of space was pulled in an instant, causing a resonant explosion, causing countless small impact disruptors. The operation of the power of space. The power of space left by the previous explosion was not small, and the explosion formed naturally was not small. Saiyan, have you started to give up on yourself? You are too arrogant, but you won't be able to smooth things out. Angel Martino smiled sullenly. In her sight, Bergette was in self-defeating. At such a dangerous time, the opponent should use the strongest nirvana to confront it. Instead of bombarding aimlessly like it is now. This method is funny and ridiculous. That's why I asked you, do you really understand space? Fatty. 35 Bergette stared coldly at Angel Martino who was hiding in space, with a chilling emotion in her eyes. You can't see it, but you can be sure it's there. When Bergette saw this, Angel Martino was about to refute, but suddenly felt that something was wrong in the huge space she was controlling. Advertisement. Already. Vaguely out of her control. If you use this huge space power in a self-righteous way and fight against me in a fighting way, I may lose, or I may win tragically, but you are self-righteous to mobilize this space power, so for now, the outcome is it's changed. Bergette's attitude is so proud and confident, highlighting the domineering and temperament of mortals. Bergette's attainments are not low in the study of the power of space. Not to mention that he is on the same level as Angel Martino. He can see at a glance what kind of shortcomings this huge space law has. Impossible. It's absolutely impossible. I don't believe it. 35 felt that the power of space was repelling her. Angel Martino was dumbfounded. She tried hard to stabilize the power of the space law, but he felt that his own power was repelling him, and forcefully spit her out of the space tunnel. At this moment, Martino stared blankly at the constantly rotating space tunnel in the sky, completely bewildered. This is her power. She spent countless years of hard work to create the space nirvana, not to mention being cracked like this, but also began to bite herself, which completely collapsed her psychological defense line. In his mind, Bergette's words kept circling and magnifying. Open black lens bracket. Do you really understand space? Close black lens bracket. In a moment of hesitation, an explosion occurred. Single quote comma comma exclamation mark 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 single quote. An explosion shook the world, resounding everywhere. The energy ball condensed by the power of the terrifying space law also broke down in an instant, and disintegrated in an instant. The aftermath of the explosion scratched her fat cheeks, and the impact of the explosion ran through her mind, making her ears hum and at the same time bringing her back to her senses. Katakana middle dot katakana middle dot ask for flowers katakana middle dot katakana middle dot. Witnessing with his own eyes that his nirvana was easily diffused, or that he was despised by mortals, Angel Martino felt like he was going crazy at this moment. Looking at the current Bergette again, she is standing in the air, looking at her as if nothing had happened, as if she had done something trivial. Angel Martino's heart was full of anger and hatred. Why did it become like this? His active attack was resolved by the opponent, and he was at a disadvantage, which she couldn't understand even if she wanted to break her head. Taking advantage of the victory, Bergette will naturally not miss such a great opportunity. He put his hands together. The power of God and the power of man were mobilized frantically under his will, from his arms to his palms. Angel Martino. It's all over now. The energy condensed to the limit, and Bergette's eyes narrowed and released instantly. The end. Destruction cannon. The voice fell, and the huge blue and white energy rays shot out from the palms of his arms, tearing apart the space like a violent wave, carrying terrifying destructive power. Towards Angel Martino bombarded away. Angel Martino, who had recovered, felt a sense of fatal crisis, completely panicked, and subconsciously mobilized the angel's power in her body to form an indestructible energy barrier. Boom. An explosion. The shock and oppression carried by the collision of energy made Angel Martino's body go backwards. At the same time, the energy barrier she created burst into flames, and after a stalemate for about 3 seconds, her angel power was completely collapsed, and the terrifying energy bombed her body, splashing a lot of electric sparks. Advertisement. This blow is not enough to kill her, but it can make her seriously injured. Martino's eyes were bloodshot, his teeth were clenched, he endured the unbearable pain, his eyes were full of anger and puzzlement. She didn't understand why her nirvana would end in failure. Open black lens bracket. Do you really understand space? How much space do you know? Close black lens bracket. Bergette's words lingered in Angel Martino's ears like a nightmare, making Martino even more ashamed and unwilling. It's just a human who evolved from a monkey to the present. Why do you question me as an angel? I am the supreme being. This last unwilling voice represented Martino, who was struggling. Boom. The energy exploded. The moment the voice fell, the energy of the shattering cannon was also delivered to the extreme. Martino was completely buried in the explosion. The billowing smoke filled the air, and the shock wave of the explosion reverberated throughout the boundless realm. At this moment, the 11 angels were silent. Gods, stunned. Win. The human who was not favored by them won. With overwhelming fighting power, this impossible battle was won. Just because I'm a human, I'm destined to win against you. It's ridiculous. How can you live for 10 billion years, and 100 billion years, how can you who have been content with the status quo and rest on your laurels can be compared to those who are growing all the time? Me, humph. With a cold snort, Bergette stood in the void as a winner. At this moment, he created his own myth, a legend of mankind. Challenge Angel with mortal power. He won. At this moment, the gods were terrified, Angel was surprised, and even the Grand Priest and the 2 Xeno showed incredible eyes. This is so shocking. The location of the 12th universe. As one of the 3 universes that did not participate in the power conference, the seat in the auditorium was extremely empty at this moment, and only one Gods of Destruction Jin was here. When Angel Martino was hit by this devastating blow, his expression changed completely. He knew very well what this battle meant. Since then, the angel beside him may no longer be Martino, but a new angel. However, These are not what he is most worried about. The only thing he is worried about is whether his position may be changed after Martinu is cleared. If he was implicated, it would really outweigh the gains. Damn fat man. It's all because of your stupidity that the current situation is created. You pushed me in our 12th universe to the bottom. I have worked hard for so many years, but it will come to nothing. Jin's heart is extremely broken. If it wasn't for him to hold back, he would have been mad at this time. He can't, and absolutely can't mess up. Now, if he wants to stabilize his position and situation, he has to wait quietly, waiting for the Grand Priest to judge and make a final decision. As for Zeno, in his opinion, they are nothing more than two children listening to the Grand Priest. People. Chapter 134 Angel, about to shuffle. Open black lens bracket subscription close black lens bracket. Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. The viewing area of the 6th universe. Win. Brother Bergette has won. He really beat that angel. Califra danced with excitement, unable to restrain her excitement. That's great. What about Angel, who is bigger than gods of destruction? Brother Bergette can win just as well. He is the strongest. Kale also clenched his fists excitedly, his expression exaggerated an exaggerated pull. Hum hum hum. Ha 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 ha. You really did it. You are really admirable. I'm afraid I can only look up to your existence in my life. He couldn't help laughing, and the excitement in his heart was hard to suppress. They are mortals who have done things that even gods can't do. Bergette truly became the new legend. He has opened up new beginnings, new paths, and new possibilities for mortals. I knew that you would not let me down, since you proposed to let those aloof beings see clearly that we are not pawns that they can play with. I know the ending. As expected of it, it's the king who sees it the man in. Although, you have always ignored the love of this king. Close black lens bracket. A happy smile appeared on Hill's face, and she looked at Bergette with a look of infatuation and admiration. The devil Oza on the side completely broke out the childish psychology, and danced in the viewing area, celebrating Bergette's victory. The cold killer had even showed a rare smile on his face, and he completely accepted it from the bottom of his heart. As Champa of Gods of Destruction, he breathed a sigh of relief in his heart. The big stone that had been hanging in my heart was put down. Of course, he also lifted a bigger stone. There is such a super powerful mortal in his own universe. What is his gods of destruction in the future? The pressure is great. Hey, I'll be nothing in the future. This guy, 167, is really enviable, envious, and hateful. He has done things that even gods can't do and complete. I can't believe it. Is the guy immortal? Who would believe this fact if he hadn't seen it with his own eyes? 99 clenched his fists. Champa was helpless, but also excited. He swears that after returning home this time, he must give up all his bad habits, and then practice hard to become stronger. Even if it can't surpass Bergette, at least it can't continue to be such a waste. He also knows that he is not the top in Gods of Destruction, at most he is the bottom. To be more specific, that is, after this battle, their 6th universe has completely become the leader of the 12 universes, and he can't be too stretched his hips. Even as long as Bergette is there, their universe is enough to look down on all universes. But he is Gods of Destruction after all. Open black lens bracket. What a great fight. Bergette-san. Close black lens bracket. A relieved smile appeared on Vado's face. At this point, the end of the battle, as a fool can see, is that Bergette has won. Before, she had sweated for Bergette, but this man's actions were far beyond God and Angel's understanding of him. No. It was beyond the word human. At this moment, everyone in the 6th universe thought that Bergette had won, and they were indescribably excited, but there was only one person, with dull eyes and different expressions, who was unwilling to accept Bergette's victory. This person, of course, is Gabe. He is already somewhat demonized. Of course, he hasn't reached that step yet, but the seed of the demon has sprouted. 10th universe's viewing area. Angel who was defeated by mortals. Hee, how many reincarnations? Martinu, you are still the first. It's a shame. I am afraid that after this battle, you will never be able to continue to be this angel. It's over. Angel Kessie's heart was filled with indescribable joy. In the discourse, in addition to sarcasm, there are also views on the future. In this reincarnation, Angel will be shuffled. Although other parallel time and space worlds still exist, but at least this time and space world has made such changes, then in the future, this time and space world will become the real main time and space. The significance of this battle is too great. Advertisement. Not only for life in reincarnation, but also for them outside reincarnation. Kessie knew without thinking that, as the first angel to lose to a human being, Martinu would be punished by the Grand Priest even if he didn't die after the game. Not only will he be demoted to become an intern angel, he will start all over again, and even if this cycle ends in the future, it will be difficult to become a new angel. All in all, these 12 angels have existed for too long. It's been fine all along, but now that things have taken a turn, the Grand Priest is bound to make adjustments. Survival of the fittest. Just like the angel of the 6 universes that were erased from the original 18 universes. They, although always there, have long been out of use. These angels, after going through that reincarnation, how much do they understand what the future will be like? This time, it was the end of the old era and the beginning of a new cycle, but the ending has changed. Now, Bergette is the biggest outlier. Even more dazzling than their angels, there is an existence full of possibilities. The viewing area of the 11th universe. He actually, really did it. Gods of Destruction Vermut's mouth was wide open, and there was a look of panic in his eyes. Today, he has completely refreshed his understanding of mortals. Saiyan from the 6th universe really did what even gods look up to. At this moment, as the strongest warrior in the 11th universe, Jiren's eyes ignited with flames and boundless yearning for Bergette's powerful combat power. He's nowhere close to Bergette, yes, but he has the confidence to catch up to Bergette someday. As long as he keeps practicing, exercising, and getting stronger. Given time, the next person to challenge Angel will be him. Bergette defeated Angel, which also means that Angel is not invincible. As long as she is strong enough, Angel can surpass it. At this moment, a proud and ironic smile appeared on Angel Makarita's face as the 11th universe. Martinu, I didn't expect you to have today. As the first angel who lost to mortals, I am afraid that in the future, they will be underestimated by mortals. I am afraid that you are not qualified to continue to sit for this position of angel, nor do you know who will come up next. Close black lens bracket. Angel Makarita was extremely happy. From today, Martino will no longer be an angel of her level. And she, in the future, will be a rank higher than Martino. In the future, I can also take this opportunity to frantically suppress Martinu and vent my displeasure in my heart. The viewing area of the 7th universe. Gods of Destruction Beerus' brows twitched, his face was terrified, cold sweat fell from his forehead, and his eyes were full of disbelief. The mortal man has made this step, and he is no longer a mortal man, and now his eyes on Bergette have completely changed. How magnificent and noble is this man? He's already not human. At least, he who defeated Angel was a life with Angel, even higher than Angel. I won, I really won. Son Goku's face was shocked, and he didn't know how to describe his heart at this moment. Today, he was fortunate enough to witness a mortal challenge Angel. The details of the battle just now were enough for him to go further. Advertisement. He was also enlightened. In the past, he had always been trapped in a cage to cultivate, and he could not see the wider world. Now, it's different. I'm really not reconciled. We're both Saiyans, the gap between us is so big, damn it. After I go back, I have to practice harder and accelerate to become stronger. Otherwise, I'm afraid I won't be able to catch up with him in this life. Son Goku unwillingly, he clenched his fists, his eyes were solemn, and he grinned. He has already decided how to go in the future. He, too, has to walk out of a new path of his own. Damn. The two forces fused together will have the power to defeat Angel. Sooner or later, I will do this too. Bergette's feat made Vegeta see a whole new path and your own hope. Super Saiyan 5th tier power superimposed Super Saiyan Blue 3rd tier Katakana middle. Boundary breakthrough, you can have the power to rival Angel and even defeat Angel. Also Saiyan, he thinks he can too. He is extremely confident that he can definitely do it himself. Although the transformation methods of Super Saiyan 4th and Super Saiyan 5th are still unclear. But his bloodline is the elite of the royal family in Saiyan, the 4th rank of Super Saiyan. Now that he knows it, it is not too difficult for him, but the difficulty is the 5th rank of Super Saiyan. As for the 3rd level of Super Saiyan Blue, the information from Vegeta and Bergette from before to now made him have some eyebrows. He evolved and cultivated Super Saiyan Dark Blue to the peak. When he merged into Gogeta and Vegeta, he played against Bergette. At that time, he had all the insights. The 3rd level of Super Saiyan Blue color, it didn't take long for him, can be achieved. If he can fuse the two forces, he will definitely usher in a transformation, and even if he can't compete with Bergette, he will definitely be able to defeat Jiren. I think it's better for Goku-san and Vegeta-san not to be too happy too soon. Although Bergette is indeed strong, and even suppressed Angel, but Angel is not so easy to be defeated. Whis' remarks, once again it attracted everyone's attention. What does this mean? It has reached this point, can it be turned around? Could it be that the terrifying blow that was enough to destroy the boundless world just now hit that Martinu head on, but couldn't defeat the opponent? It is understandable that it cannot be killed, but it cannot be defeated, and no one recognizes it. With an incredible mood, everyone's eyes turned to the dilapidated battlefield again. Especially at the center of the explosion, which was still filled with huge thick smoke. Angel Martino, really beaten. Neither the players nor the gods could see it, but most angels could see it clearly. Indeed, Bergette did manage to suppress and even severely damage Angel for a while. Even if it meant defeating Angel, it wasn't really defeating. The reason why the Angel's emotions are so heavy is because Bergette's performance is too shocking, and Martinu's performance is too stretched. Although this battle is not over, the Angels probably guess the ending, and Martino will lose. The damaged space is constantly restored under the power of the rules of the boundless world. It has to be said that for the boundless world, no matter how big the damage, as long as the core is not destroyed, it will never collapse. Therefore, even if it reaches this level of destructive power, it will not completely collapse the boundless world. Standing in the space where he was originally, Bergette hung her hands on both sides, staring directly at the center of the explosion in front of her. It should be said, it's really Angel, even if he suffered such a powerful blow from me, he was still able to save his life from it. After all, I was still a blow mixed with the ultimate destructive power of space. His eyes narrowed slightly. Bergette's words were full of ridicule. Because of his words, all the players and gods watching the game were stunned. Advertisement. Obviously, saying this sentence means that Martinu is not dead or completely defeated. In the thick smoke, suddenly bursts of snow-white beams of light burst out, extremely dazzling. As the light bloomed, the smoke dissipated, revealing the figure of Angel Martinu at this time. The wasteful appearance, at this time, she has reached the limit. Angel's service was broken, and the silver-white hair was messy, and all over the body were clearly visible wounds, and blood also flowed from the wounds. ENMMM. With a ferocious expression, he kept murmuring uncontrollably, and Martino's body kept shaking. It can be seen that her anger has reached its peak. Being wounded like this by what she thought was an ant, and being suppressed and severely injured by what she thought was a mortal, how embarrassing it was, and what made her resentful. How dare to destroy the perfect shape of this angel, ants. Ants, ants, I will smash you to pieces, pull out your soul, burn it for a century and then completely destruction. A manic voice came from Martino's mouth. Following her words, the terrifying angel's power rapidly increased. In this case, no matter how you look at it, it feels a little bit of a flashback. But actually, it's not. Although Martinu was seriously injured, her source core was not damaged, so as long as she still had a trace of Angel's power to use, she could continue to maintain such a posture. It has come to this point, and one bite of ants. I really don't know, how did your pig brain grow? You deserve it, you will be defeated by me. Watching Martinu's incompetent outbreak, Bergette was dissatisfied with 1.5 care. This short-term surge in strength seems to exceed 5,000 positive, and even approach a higher dimension. But, in the end, that's what happened. If Bergette wanted to, he could do it anytime. It just doesn't make sense. Surrounded by Martino's angel's power, Bergette didn't care at all. This is not the first time I have faced it, and I have long since lost the prudence and fear at the beginning. It should be said that even though Martino's methods are not yet fully understood, she is at that level. At this time, if facing other angels, Bergette will truly be wholehearted. After all, each angel has different magical skills and powers. Give me death. He raised the angel scepter in his hand, and the gem at the top emitted a dazzling colorful light. On the surface, it is so sacred, but at this moment, there is a black and red aura in that colorful light. This is the omen of escaping into the devil's block. Are you repeating the old tricks? What's the use of this method for me? Or are you already exhausted? The disdainful eyes were so blatant. Bergette's words even stimulated Martino and made him go completely berserk. The halo continued to expand, and it was Bergette who looked down on her. The angel's power converged into an aperture, shot straight out, and came directly to the space above Bergette. Suddenly, the terrifying aura repression turned into a beam of light and descended on Bergette's body. Not only the movement is restricted, but the flow of power in the body is restricted. Don't treat Angel as someone you can play with, mortal. Accept the judgment of death. It was no longer ordinary eyes, but blood-red eyes. Martinu once again gathered the power of Angel, and the black and red aura was even more intense. Chapter 135 Fallen hyphenation point Angel. Grand Priest's calculation open black lens bracket subscription close black lens bracket. Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. The strong breath of death spread, and Bergette was caught off guard by this evil force covering her whole body, so that her body was suppressed even more seriously. No. This power. Not pure angel power. Not good. With a sudden change, Bergette realized that something was wrong. In this majestic angel's power, there is a deeper, terrifying evil energy that is penetrating into his body little by little. Brain affected, Bergette took a deep breath, her teeth clenched, her face twisted, her eyes glowing scarlet. Ha 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 ha. It's too late to regret now. Die, ants. I want to torture you before you die. Angel Martinu has escaped into the magic barrier at this moment. The evil energy emanating from her body continued to become richer and more infiltrating, so powerful that it made people feel fearful. Angel was supposed to be the representative of holiness and neutrality, but now, Angel Martinu's blackening also means that she has lost her qualifications to be an angel, and her heart has changed. She violated the rules of being an angel. She was no longer neutral, but was completely controlled by the desire and anger in her heart, fell into the devil's way, and was completely blackened. Countless black and red lightnings descended from the void, pouring on Bergette's body non-stop. That deep evil power poured into Bergette's body, delusional to tear Bergette apart from the inside. However, this evil force has somehow led to another force in Bergette's body that belongs to Saiyan's essence. The black breath, little by little, poured into Bergette's body, and gradually wrapped and engulfed him. All universe's spectators were very enthusiastic about this, daring not to slack off in the slightest. Their eyes were solemn, and their expressions were tense. Angel Martinu has already lost, but the other party has fallen into the devil's way and wants to kill Bergette. Strictly speaking, the current Martinu is no longer qualified to be called angel, but a fallen angel. The Grand Priest above the void just stared at it, without any thought to stop it. He seemed to be waiting for something. Ma 14 Tinu is about to fall into the devil's way, no longer qualified to continue to hold the position of angel, but, Bergette, is your limit really only like this? That makes God and angel feel uneasy and ominous. The power of it seems to be inspired by the evil power of Martinu. Let me see if you will evolve again. After evolution, what realm can we reach? His eyes narrowed. Grand Priest was still looking forward to the next evolution of Bergette. His eyes can see things that even Angel can't see, and there is a mysterious power slumbering in Bergette, inspired by the evil power of Angel Martino's fall into the devil's way. That black air was eager to control Bergette's body and replace Bergette herself. Just don't know if Bergette will make it through. If it is soaked and swallowed by this evil energy, it means that he has no hope and can only be completely reduced to a crazy monster. When that time comes, it will be worth the loss. The spectator zone of the 12th universe. At this moment, Gods of Destruction Jin was completely numb and stunned. It's over, everything's over. From the moment Angel Martino fell, Gods of Destruction King knew that he couldn't escape. Open black lens bracket. Damn Martinu. You're a fat bastard. Even if you're depraved, you're still implicated in me. That's good. Not only did I get hurt by you, but even the 12th universe is thankful for you. There may be a risk of being wiped out by Zeno-sama. Asshole. Asshole. If eyes can kill, Gods of Destruction King has killed Angel Martinu 1,000 times. Advertisement. He and this fat woman are in the same boat. Now, this fat woman has fallen into the devil's way, and he can't be alone. He is implicated. It doesn't matter. It is the Supreme Kai of the 12th universe, and the 12th universe that he manages will suffer. This time, everything will be cleaned up because of the actions of the dead fat woman Martinu. If they have any questions, the Grand Priest will ask the Zeno, and the Zeno will definitely take the shot. At that time, whether Angel, Gods of Destruction, or Universe, all will be erased and turned into nothingness. He raised his eyes tremblingly towards the Grand Priest above the void. His eyes were full of longing and awe. He hoped that Lord Grand Priest would let him go, that he was innocent. However, the entire attention of the Grand Priest at the moment is on Bergette, who is bound by the evil power of Angel Martino. Completely unaware of Gods of Destruction King's wistful gaze. 10th Universe's viewing area. What a strong evil spirit. Martinu actually lost himself and was willing to fall. Do you really not know the consequences? This behavior is following in the footsteps of the 6 angels. Now you, what qualifications do you have? For Angel. His eyes narrowed, and there was boundless killing intent in Angel Kessie's eyes. Angel's fall. This should not have happened. In the past, there were not only 12 universes, but 18 universes, of which 6 universes were erased by Zeno, including Gods of Destruction and Supreme Kai. Angel also fell into darkness for some reason, completely reduced to a fallen angel. They have witnessed with their own eyes that those fallen angels were sealed by the Grand Priest in a dark prison, never to be seen again. Now Martino is no longer qualified to be called angel. It can even be said that he is the enemy of all angels. As the oldest and oldest angel among the 12 angels, Kess has the qualifications to decide all of this. Originally, she already had the idea of ending this battle, but the Grand Priest above the void has not made a statement so far, and she can't say anything. Since Grand Priest was still waiting for something, she could only watch as a bystander. The viewing area of the 11th universe. Has it reappeared again? The fallen angel, Martinu, was cornered by that Saiyan, unknowingly went against his own heart, and slowly fell into the devil. Looking at the familiar scene in front of him, Gods of Destruction Vermut can't help but be filled with emotion. This incident happened shortly after Universe was born. At that time, there were 18 universes, and 6 universes knew why. They were influenced by some kind of evil force, and they fell into depravity and forgot their hearts. The fall of Gods of Destruction is nothing. Angel can handle it casually, but Angel, who is the balancer, falls into the devil, and the nature is completely different. Once reduced to a fallen angel, the principles that Zheng Jin adhered to will be reduced to nothing, and instead they will embrace the never-ending dark power, and their combat power and realm will also change. No one expected that things would suddenly develop to this point. The time has come to be irreversible. Angel Martino fell into a demon, and was forced into a demon by Immortal. Advertisement. This kind of situation is usually handled by the Grand Priest himself. After all, as the head of the 12 angels, any problem that occurs with the angel is handled by the Grand Priest himself. However, what Gods of Destruction Vermut did not understand was why the Grand Priest remained calm and did not move at all. Does he think Bergette can take care of the trouble for him and kill the fallen angel Martino? It's been a long time since I saw the fallen angel again after billions of years. Martinu, whether it will be liquidated or not, it is inevitable that he will be punished by the Grand Priest. Angel Makalita, as if seeing what was going to happen next, he sighed helplessly. The corners of her mouth undulated slightly, and although she pretended to sigh on the surface, she was actually very happy inside. There is no doubt that Martinu, the angel she dislikes, has fallen, which means that she will never appear in front of them again in the future. Without this angel who always likes to find things, it is a good thing. There was just one thing that made her very ignorant. He raised his head and looked into the air. The Grand Priest standing above the void, the corners of his mouth undulating slightly, as if he had long expected this to happen. After noticing Grand Priest's expression, Angel Makarita raised a storm in her heart, her pupils shrank suddenly, as if thinking of something. In her deep eyes, a look of disbelief and fear suddenly appeared. Open black lens bracket. It turns out, all of this is in your calculations, Grand Priest. Including Martinu's fall into the devil's way, have you already expected it? Then this Bergette's challenge, is it also? Angel Makari. The train of thought in Ta's heart was not clear, but when she suddenly felt Grand Priest's gaze, she was so frightened that she lost her mind and turned pale. That look seemed to warn her not to speculate on things she shouldn't know. Angel Makarita, who had regained her senses, had cold sweat dripping down her forehead and sneered in her heart. These angels are just a pawn of the Grand Priest. Bergette is the real concern of the Grand Priest adults. Even for this, it doesn't matter if an angel is sacrificed. The viewing area of the 7th universe. This evil spirit, that mad woman has fallen. I'm afraid that Bergette is more fortunate this time. His eyes narrowed, and Beerus clearly knew that the situation had changed. The fall of Angel Martinu, the fallen angel who appeared billions of years ago, he knows how terrible it is to be dangerous and dangerous. No matter how strong Bergette is, it is impossible to reverse the situation. Angel after blackening is more than 10 times stronger. It's such a weird smell, I'm afraid I'll lose my life if I get a little bit of it. Feeling the unfathomable evil aura on Angel Martinu, Son Goku secretly took a deep breath, cold sweat fell on his forehead, and his face full of fear. For the first time, I felt this fear from the depths of my soul. Humph. Angel, who was always high above the ground, has now lost his heart, chose another power, and was forced into this situation by mortals who he despised. Is this Angel? It's funny. Vegeta's words, there is strong dissatisfaction and irony towards Angel. Of course, he wasn't targeting all angels, but Martinu, a dead fat woman who looked down on their mortals and couldn't afford to lose. One mortal, one ant. Are they Saiyans in the eyes of these angels as inferior beings? He Vegeta will never admit this. Father, what are you waiting for? Isn't it your responsibility to deal with Angel after his fall? Could it be that? The current situation is still within your expectations. Whis looked strange, his eyes turned to the Grand Priest above the void. Advertisement. That doubt, along with his gaze, was felt by Grand Priest. Aware of his child's question, Grand Priest turned his eyes to Whis and smiled slightly, indicating that Whis should not worry, he had his own measure. This is how Grand Priest treats angels. He is a kind and strict father to his children. When dealing with subordinate angel, his attitude has always been one: you make a mistake, I will implement my principles, and there is no room for recovery. The classic father's attitude towards his son and his subordinates is different. The viewing area of the 6th universe. Damn. That goddamn angel. Free brother Bergette for me. The furious Caulifla suddenly burst into flames and wanted to rush to the ring, but was stopped in time by Demon King Hill. Sister Hill, you. Carifla was dissatisfied and didn't understand why Hill wanted to stop him. You can be honest with me, Bergette can't lose so easily, and if you rush up now, it's just to die. With a cold snort, Exirjang 167 pressed Caulifla on the seat. Let her move. She didn't want to let this silly girl die in vain. In this situation, not everyone can interfere, even she dare not interfere easily. If you are a little careless, you will even lose your own life. Damn, are we just here to watch? Brother Bergette. Kyle felt anxious. If her strength is enough, she will definitely rush to help Bergette regardless of her life and death, but she is too weak, even if the superpower is released again, it will not be enough. Now as long as he rushes up, when he reaches a certain distance, he will be crushed into pieces by the terrifying space force, turned into blood foam, and nothing will be left. Quiet, just watch it slowly. Periton suddenly shouted, he folded his arms and looked at the ring with a solemn expression. He firmly believes that no matter what kind of predicament Bergette faces, he can reverse the situation and win. Even if this angel is about to fall and his strength has increased exponentially, Bergette can still win, which is a hunch in his heart. Damn, Lord Grand Priest, what are you waiting for? The evil spirit on Martinu's body is getting heavier and heavier. If you don't stop her, the fallen angel who appeared billions of years ago will reappear again. 33 gritted his teeth, Champa's expression solemn. He didn't want to. Watching Bergette die in Martinu's hands like this, that damn fat woman has violated the principle of being angel, can't be called angel at all, can only be regarded as an evil who has fallen into darkness life form. However, he did not dare to violate the rules of the Grand Priest, and no one was qualified to violate the rules set by the Grand Priest. This game is a battle of life and death, a battle between Bergette and Martino, whoever dares to intervene will die. Father, what are you still planning? Is the time not yet? At this point, Vados understands that his father is definitely planning something. No matter what the situation was, Angel couldn't let herself fall, and Martino, obviously, was about to go crazy, and even half into the devil, and now her father Grand Priest has not tried to stop it. There must be a problem in this. Vados can't even think about it, what her father is planning now, she only knows that if Grand Priest doesn't make a move, Bergette will probably be eroded by this evil spirit, and it is possible to lose herself. If you go against Angel, you should end up like this. Brother Bergette, you are strong, yes, but you should never challenge Angel. Even if you lose your life, you deserve it. Gabe, the anti-bones boy, began to pretend to Bergette's situation. This is what he expected to see. This person who was once regarded as a big brother by him, but now he can't wait to let him die at the hands of Angel to save his face. This kid's heart also began to be gradually soaked by darkness. Chapter 136 Reversal. The Iron Fist of Humanity. Open black lens bracket subscription close black lens bracket. Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. On the ring. The black and red lightning continued to increase in number, completely killing the red-eyed angel Marty, driving her angel power, and constantly destroying Bergette's body. Looking at Bergette's bruised body, Martino couldn't stop laughing, feeling more joyful and excited than ever. Even if she gave up her appearance, even if she no longer pursued that supreme vanity. Just pay back the humiliation you suffered before. Of course, that alone was not enough to satisfy her completely. She wants to completely obliterate Bergette's existence. Use Bergette's blood to wash away the previous shame to prove that she is not the angel who will be shuffled. Mortals are always ants in front of angel. Even if you are more difficult to deal with than ordinary mortals, it is undeniable that your essence has not changed. You are an ant. You have suffered under my power and died unwillingly in pain. I will torture your body to the limit, burn your soul bit by bit, so that you can't survive, you can't die. Cruel, playful, crazy, this is the current angel Marty knew. Her evil side has dominated. No. To be precise, it exposed her nature and released the hidden side in her heart, which is also her truest and ugliest side. With Martino's provocative voices echoing in his head, Bergette was furious, and the fat dead woman has been babbling since the beginning of the battle. It seems that you have nothing but a hard mouth. With his teeth clenched, Bergette released the energy pool in his body to a large extent, and with a roar, the blue and white terrifying energy spurted out, allowing Bergette to break free of Martino's restraints in an instant. Huh, do you still want to fight to the death now? Doing some boring resistance, knowing that it is meaningless, but insisting on resisting to the end, you Saiyans are a group of stubborn monkeys, you must be crushed ruthlessly. Only when you die will you understand the difference between angel and angel. The killing intent bloomed, and Angel Martinu's thought moved, driving the power of the law of space again, blocking the space of the boundless, preventing Bergette from playing any new tricks. Stop talking. How can you, a mortal, be qualified to know where the limits of our mortals are? Since you look down on mortals so much, you might as well use your body to test how hard a mortal's fist is. 35 in the roar, Bergette drove the law of space and displayed the ability to jump in space. In the instant of 0.00001 seconds, he crossed the space and appeared in front of Martinu. What if you master the laws of space? You are just a humble ant in front of me. His eyes narrowed, and Martinu's killing intent instantly condensed into substance. The next second, the angel scepter in her hand flashed red light, the power of space concentrated on the precious jade at the top of the scepter, and slammed down at Bergette. At the same time, Bergette's divine power and human power were also compressed to the extreme, converging on his fist, pouring boundless anger, and smashing it at Martinu's face. Boom. A shocking explosion. The scepter collided with Bergette's indestructible iron fist. The shock wave visible to the naked eye swept away, and when it was about to spread throughout the realm of nothingness, it was blocked by the enchantment formed by the power of space. The power of this blow is far greater and terrifying than the destructive power brought by all the shocks just now. A new round of fierce battle will begin. Feeling the good impact from the scepter, Martinu's anger grew even stronger. However, without giving her a chance to attack again, Bergette launched a stormy attack on her. Bang! Pound! 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 The thrilling sound of flesh piercing suddenly exploded. Advertisement. The speed is getting faster and faster, and the impact of the force is starting to become more and more terrifying. The intensive offensive fell like raindrops, all pouring down towards Martinu's body. The sudden and violent offensive made Martinu feel some pressure. Her bloated body seemed to be slow, but when she moved, the speed was amazing. In the face of Bergette's fierce attack, she can not only deal with it, but also sees the flaws exposed by Bergette's attack to counterattack. The postures of the two are like ghosts and shuttles at high speed in the arena of the boundless world. The two rays of light are so dazzling, one represents the half-degenerate angel Martinu, and the other is the light that Bergette blooms as a human being. The two sides are chasing and fighting the enemy in this space. You attack and I defend, and you chase after me. Saiyan's characteristic of becoming stronger when he is strong is vividly displayed at this moment. In this passionate chasing battle, Bergette's combat strength and all aspects of his body's indicators are climbing at an alarming rate. He is constantly growing with the help of the pressure brought by Martino. Saiyan's bloodline power was perfectly liberated at this moment, and the degree of fusion became more and more perfect due to the continuous operation. The progress of fusion between the power of God and the power of man goes even further. Open black lens bracket damn. His fists are getting sharper and faster. This is not the power of space law, but the power that erupts from pure flesh. Angel Martinu clenched his teeth. At this moment, because of the fierce attack brought by Bergette, she was gradually lost, and slowly fell into the disadvantage. Martino despised human beings in her heart, and now she is once again suppressed by the power displayed by Bergette, which annoys her even more. How long do you stubborn Saiyan want to resist? Give me a good boy. Go to hell. The hysterical roar represented Martinu's nowhere to vent his anger. It was precisely because of anger that she exposed her flaws. A terrifying sound of pound exploded, and Bergette's heavy punch hit Angel Martino's nose unceremoniously. The terrifying impact of the invincible fist made Martinu's facial features distorted, his entire face turned ugly, and his bloated body turned into a cannonball that flew out at a speed that was 100 times faster than the speed of sound. Taking advantage of the victory, Bergette mobilized the power of the law of space and performed the space jump again, arriving in advance to the position where Martinu was about to arrive. The right fist was clenched tightly, and a layer of invisible energy surrounded the tip of his fist, setting off layers of storms and ripples in space. This group of rays of light that does not seem to be threatening, but condenses the power of terrifying space crushing. Space shock. His eyes narrowed, and he locked on Martinu, who was flying upside down. Bergette punched Martinu on the back with a terrifying power of space. Exclamation mark 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 single quote. The power of this punch not only made the space explode, but also caused Martinu's bloated body to be subverted by the power of space from the inside out. The power of space continued to spread, but it spread to Martinu's body in an instant. PFF'd. Angel Martinu, who was hit hard, spat out a mouthful of black blood, and Angel's ring behind her was also shattered by Bergette's devastating blow, turning into a star in the sky, floating in space. Her fat body flew backwards again, smashing dozens of pieces of ring debris along the way. With her legs energized, Bergette burst out again with extremely terrifying speed, rushing towards Angel Martinu. At this moment, the impact of the spatial shock on Angel Martinu has not dissipated, so that she cannot defend in time to deal with Bergette's offensive. Advertisement. Bang. Pound. 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 Is another continuous wave of deadly attacks, as if it rained down on Martinu's body. In just a short moment, Martinu's fat body suffered thousands of continuous blows. The fat body was covered with large and small fist marks, and the unbearable pain spread to the whole body. She was always awake. Wang. A scarlet light flashed in his eyes, and Angel Martinu's evil spirit became even more intense. A sinister and terrifying evil aura surged under her mind, suppressing the pain in her body. But luck has taken advantage of it, don't get too complacent. With a roar, Martinu's whole body lit up with a black aura, and he swung the scepter in a sweeping motion. The sound of whoosh sounded, and ripples spread through the space. The wave of the scepter led to the distortion of the space. Kill all creatures. There was a sense of danger from his body instinct, and the experienced Bergette, following the guidance of his instinct, avoided this devastating blow without any risk. Instead, his body twisted, and another roundhouse kick hit Martinu's neck heavily. The incomparable strength kicked Martinu directly into the abyss of the boundless. Forcibly mobilizing the energy and suppressing the pain, Martinu barely stabilized his body and raised his head abruptly. His eyes that had been completely reduced to scarlet red exuded monstrous murderous intent and anger. Multiple negative emotions filled her brain, leading her little by little into the abyss of doom. Bergette, who was above the void, wiped away the blood stains from the corners of her mouth, and looked down at Angel Martinu, her eyes full of disgust and disdain. Is this the angel power you are proud of? It's really disappointing. You are not as good as me in terms of combat power, and you are far less than me in terms of space attainments. Now, let me show you how to use the real space power. The voice fell. Bergette took a deep breath and thought to use the power of the law of space. He raised his hands slowly, and the power of the space law, which was concentrated to the extreme, gathered in his hands in an invisible manner. With both hands close together, the power of space overflowing between the palms blends into one. Angel Martinu. A very dangerous signal came from her body and intuition, reminding her that the power of Bergette's next blow would be very terrifying. It could even threaten her life. When the power of space in her palm stabilized, the corner of Bergette's mouth twitched slightly, her eyes locked on Angel Martinu. Thank you for taking care of you before, this is my gift to you. Don't die all of a sudden. With an angry shout, Bergette raised her hands high, condensing the power of space law in her palms to the extreme the sphere is thrown. Space. Collapse strike. The seemingly invisible energy light sphere cut through the space and hit Angel Martinu's position. I said, you don't underestimate Angel. With her teeth clenched, Angel Martinu couldn't care so much, for her dignity, for Angel's glory, she couldn't dodge. Even if he knew that this power was a deadly threat to him. The huge angel's power poured into the scepter. I saw the angel scepter in Martinu's hand began to flicker, and the next second, it turned into an indestructible protective barrier around his body. Boom. Long. The terrifying power of space exploded in an instant, and the devastating shock wave spread in all directions, shaking the entire world of nothingness. If it weren't for the fact that the realm of nowhere was strengthened by the power of the Grand Priest, it would have been blown apart by the power of this destructive space. Advertisement. Time. Minute by minute. All the onlookers swallowed their saliva involuntarily, feeling terrified and horrified by Bergette's terrorist attack that could destroy everything. If this blow hits a human body, I am afraid that not a single cell will be left and it will be wiped out, right? Even if gods of destruction came to resist, the end would be the same. Even Angel may not be able to stop this devastating attack. When the light generated by the explosion of the power of space dissipated, Angel Martinu gritted his teeth and looked angry. She frightened to block this terrifying space force blow. The protective barrier she condensed with the energy of her whole body actually broke 70% under this devastating attack. If her body is hit directly by this force, even if she survives the disaster, she will definitely enter a state of serious injury. Her eyes, full of murderous intent, lifted up to stare at Bergette, who was overlooking her. For a time, she had mixed feelings in her heart, and she was very puzzled as to why the situation developed like this. Human beings are nothing but serval chess pieces slaves, and in the eyes of angels, they are as small and fragile as ants. Now, Bergette has rewritten this history, showing the power and horror of human beings. Angel Martinu was extremely afraid of her overwhelming fighting power and bottomless growth rate. What's the matter? I can't wait for you to crush me to death. Now, why are you so embarrassed? With a contemptuous smile, Bergette raised her hand to aim at Angel Martino, and hooked her index finger in disdain. Such a provocative and humiliating act made Angel Martino grit his teeth in anger, and the resentment accumulated against Bergette in his heart was even more intense. Unconvinced, she slowly floated up, and a cold murderous intent appeared in her eyes. I have to admit that you are very strong and terrifying. It is the first time I have met such a strong human being in my life for so many years, but, you who offend Angel, ridicule Angel, and defiantly, are doomed to perish. The vicious curse fell. Angel Martinu once again mobilized the power of space to spread all over the surrounding space. The next second, her figure was disillusioned and became blurred and weird. The next second, in Bergette's sight, dozens of Angel Martino appeared to surround him, completely blocking everything. Hee, you know that you can't win easily by yourself, do you want to use the advantage of numbers to win? Stupid guy. With a sneer, Bergette's eyes were full of disdain. Clone, who can't have this skill? Moreover, Angel Martinu's avatar method is certainly terrible, the surface combat power of each avatar is the 12th element, but so what? Saiyan's limit is far more than that, the more enemies he defeats, the stronger he becomes. Don't think that my clone is a garbage clone of your inferior humans. Every clone you see has nearly 100% of my body's combat power. Under the suppression of absolute numbers, how should you deal with it? Humans, Angel Martino said with a playful chuckle. Does each clone have 100% combat power of the main body? Humph. Hearing this, Bergette frowned, but, just like that, it wasn't enough to make him fearful. Really, is it 100%? This is just a superficial trick. Chapter 137 The World, want to blend with it. Open black lens bracket subscription close black lens bracket. Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. It's too late to regret now. The voice fell, and Angel Martinu controlled all the clones to surround Bergette, attacking from all directions. She didn't quite catch what Bergette was saying. Not jealous, but a little sarcastic. After all, they are all at the same level, how could they not know that this 100% strength is nonsense? Facing the unavoidable attacks from all directions, Bergette closed his eyes instead. He completely gave up the control of his body, did not rely on his own consciousness to avoid, but gave all the work to himself. The body responds autonomously. In an instant, he seemed to have entered a special field. It's not ultra instinct, and it's not self-consciousness. It's selfless. And it's a realm that is more selfless than Master Roshi's selflessness. The body instinctively dodges, as if the body is covered with countless eyes, and it can respond to any attack. The figure is like a ghost, like a phantom, constantly moving back and forth, jumping and shuttling in space. Not only does he evade the attack of Martinu's clone subtly and accurately every time, but also in the process of dodging, he seizes all the moments that can be controlled and counterattack to counterattack. This is, you. How could you have comprehended Ultra Instinct? Bergette's action made Angel Martinu look stunned. Divine skills are not so easy to cultivate and understand. That Son Goku can understand that, after all, it has a lot to do with Whis. The later fusion Vegeta was also due to Son Goku as the carrier. She suspected, but this set of smooth movements is almost exactly the same as Ultra Instinct. Fast, precise, without the slightest sloppiness. Her clones are numerous, and her attacks are numerous, but they are unable to cause any harm to Bergette. As the main body, she was unwilling to be more inflated, and controlled all the clones with all her strength to launch a more violent attack. She wants to see if Bergette is really that omnipotent, is she really that invulnerable? Just a mortal, let her lose face as an angel, and now she gave up her dignity to gain this power. Offensive, more and more crazy. Close body, energy, laws. Dozens of clones would logically be out of control, but they are only orderly, and they will not be chaotic at all. This is Angel, even if it belongs to the weakest group, Martinu's strength is still very terrifying. It is so easy to make you angels shocked. Say 167. You angels will always put gold on their faces, and you call it a magical skill, is it really that amazing? In my opinion, you are not as good as the realm of no self reached by the old man of the 7th universe. I am not at ease. This is my no self. It is also my own strength. The arrogant and confident words fell, and Bergette burst out. The majestic breath penetrates the boundless world like an aurora. In one breath, the avatar that was close to him was directly forced to retreat, shocking him. Humph. Do you want to counterattack? Delusional. Grinding his teeth, the main body Martinu controls all the clones, at the same time exerting the power of the law of space, closing the space, and counter-attacking with the power of Angel. Countless energies invaded from all directions, covering all areas around Bergette that could move and jump. Boom. A loud bang. The flames of the explosion illuminated the dark realm of nowhere, and layers of giant waves were superimposed and swept away. The dazzling light caused him to block his eyes uncontrollably. Angel Martinu's body retreated to the edge of the battlefield, his eyes fixed on the center of the explosion. All the clones surround the explosion position, and at the same time use the space blocking ability to lock Bergette in the center of the light. Faced with the space blockade that all my clones cast at the same time, how can you escape? It's just a turtle in a urn. You can only let me handle it. Angel Martinu seemed to have forgotten how badly he was beaten by Bergette just now, started to be arrogant. However, not long after she became arrogant, a chill that reached the sky suddenly came from behind her, spreading from the soles of her feet to her whole body. A familiar space force came from behind her, and the smile on Angel Martinu's face froze for a while. This feeling is Bergette's advertisement. How is this possible? She doesn't believe it, but the truth is in front of her. Do you really think that you can restrain me in terms of spatial attainments? Fat woman. Bergette's words lingered in Angel Martinu's ears, and suddenly her heart tensed, and she suddenly froze. Waving the scepter in his hand and hitting him behind him. Just as she waved her scepter, Bergette's ghostly figure reappeared behind her. In such a situation, Martinu did not know how to deal with it. For a time, he was in a hurry, like a clown, and like a helpless child looking for the source of fear. She had forgotten that she still had a clone that she could control, and even more that she had forgotten that she was an angel, and she had more abilities that she had yet to use. You're finished. Martinu, if I guess correctly, you don't even know yourself, you've fallen. But even so, you're still too disappointing. The power of, for me, can't cause much pressure. Not in the mood to play with Martinu, Bergette's eyes flashed with murderous intent. From the beginning to the end, Martinu did not conceal his killing intent, and his words were constantly filled with killing intent. If he hadn't been thinking about using her to reach a higher realm, he would have already decided the winner and loser with her. Now, there is no need. Even if it is a complete depravity, this power will end here. In simple words, the front is not enough. Now, I am tired of playing. Feeling the crushing irony from Bergette, Martinu did not get angry this time, but came to his senses. Only at this time did she notice that her angel's power was already filled with the aura of death. That darkness, that smell of decay, was the dark side of her heart that she had been suppressing. No, impossible. It's not like this. Big, Lord Grand Priest. There was a look of panic on his face. Those dozens of avatars disappeared because she was completely messed up. At this time, it was too late to wake up. If she uses this power, it means that it will never end. Angel is indeed supreme, the existence of life above all life. It is the representative of the divine and the embodiment of justice and maintaining balance. But even so, Angel has a dark side, and every angel will have to face this moment. Conquering one's own darkness, that is the perfect sublimation. Martinu is just a lower angel, and cannot compare to a higher angel. Although she is in the same class, she has not even cleared her own dark side, so she has only been able to stop at the 12th dimension. Only when the dark side is completely removed can the lower angel rise to the upper angel, truly above everything else. After all, if the Grand Priest had not been kind, and if the Grand Priest had never set a rank for angel, Martinu would have been the lowest ranked angel. The reason why she has always been so arrogant and domineering, and dared to intrigue with other angels with more seniority, is not because she is strong enough, but because she has this layer of protection. 18 reincarnations are liquidated. The only ones who can really stay are the high-ranking angels. The birth of universe, the development of universe, and the destruction of universe are a cycle. To this day, among the 12 angels present, there are only a few who are really high-ranking angels. Among them, it naturally includes Whis, Vados, and Karen, the sons and daughters of the 3 Grand Priests. Even though some of them have already surpassed the 12th dimension, they have cultivated to a certain level in the final analysis, and they will almost completely remove the dark side. Martinu has gone through 12 reincarnations. If everything goes as usual, she will definitely be able to go further in the next reincarnation, and even in the 18th reincarnation, it is not impossible for her to reach the top angel. Unfortunately, for her, it has now come to nothing. Those begging and unwilling eyes have already revealed her mood and thoughts at this time. She, if nothing else, was going to be punished by the Grand Priest. Advertisement. But she wasn't happy about it. This is the negative emotion that arises after the fall. Is Martinu stupid? She's not stupid. It's just Bebef unscrupulous. This was an accident, and she hoped that she could get a chance to rebuild it again. Looking at Martinu like this, Bergette dismissed it. This battle is over. Martinu is no longer a threat, and she is now unable to protect herself. Grand Priest is not only testing his strength, but also testing Angel under his opponent. Qualified or unqualified, it depends on how far this battle will go. Above, Grand Priest stared blankly at Martinu below. At this time, as the Grand Priest, he will never have any personal feelings, let alone have any childish feelings. Can't say absolute justice, can only say that Martino has lost the value of her existence, what's the use of keeping it? At this point, Lord Zeno is also here, even if he wants to protect himself, he has to ask Zeno's opinion. The two Zenos at this time have long lost the excitement they had at the beginning. After the battle is over, things have developed to this point. To Zeno, Martino is like a virus that is having an impact on the world. Contemporary Zeno. Not at all beautiful, Martino has fallen. Future Zeno. It's fallen, it's about to be destroyed. Contemporary Zeno. Yes, obliterate it, this world does not allow aliens to exist. Future Zeno. Ugly guy, can't let her continue to exist. 99. The two Zenos, you and I, directly exposed their thoughts. All beings are in pursuit of beautiful things, and so is Zeno. As the incarnation of the consciousness core of the world, they are the world itself. Martino blackened and fell into depravity, that is, defiled the world. Such an angel must also be erased. I already know, Lord Zeno. It's just that this battle isn't over yet, since it's a battle between Bergette and Martino, it should be completely decided, don't you think? Grand Priest put his hands behind his back. Ask Zeno for instructions. Fight, keep fighting. Grand Priest also seems to be experimenting with Bergette and Martino, making a bold move. Contemporary Zeno. Is that so? Seems not bad. 35. Future Zeno. That's like saying at the beginning, Bergette wins, so let him be angel. Contemporary Zeno. What a great idea. Future Zeno. Yeah. 35. The two Zenos' answers surprised the Grand Priest for a moment. This is really beyond his expectations. It can be said to be a joke before, but now it is true. As a Grand Priest, he can't just let others become angels. Even if he passes his test, he definitely can't. Angel is an existence beyond the universe and is closely connected with the world. If anyone could become an angel, the world would be in complete chaos. Advertisement. Why don't you do this? If Bergette-san completely defeats Martino, how about I grant Bergette-san's wish within a certain range? Lord Zeno. Grand Priest asked again. Contemporary Zeno. Can't be an angel. Future Zeno. It seems to be, then, as you said, let Bergette's wish come true. Contemporary Zeno. So, let's get on with the game. Future Zeno. Let's get started. The words fell, and Grand Priest was relieved. Zeno is the hardest to serve, because he is the world. Although he is also the supreme existence, but when it comes to such a thing, it can only be discussed. Once Zeno really wants to force it, then he can only allow it, but only let Bergette try, not directly make him angel. At least, it has to start with trainee angel. Of course, this usually doesn't happen. After all, he and Zeno are closely related, and Zeno will inevitably be afraid of his fears, and Zeno will naturally know about his hesitations. Therefore, there is absolutely no disagreement of opinion. His existence is to correct Zeno and maintain the balance of the world. Negotiation is over. This situation shocked all the people watching the battle, God and angel. After all, it was the first time that such a scene had been met and the first time it had happened. Especially for the players of the power competition, they would never have access to such a high field, but now, they have seen it. God's words can be understood to some extent, even if they are only existences within the reincarnation, the angels of each family will also reveal a little bit of news. The arena space. Facing the result of the negotiation between Grand Priest and Zeno, Martino's evil heart that could no longer be suppressed was completely inflated at this time. So far, she can say that she has lost everything. Run away. That was the only thing she could think of. Resist. She is not stupid to this point yet, if she really resists, she will definitely vanish in an instant. Looking ahead, Bergette still had that irritated expression on her face. She, too, was completely obsessed with Bergette as her mortal enemy. It's because of Bergette that she's here. She is the supreme angel, the supreme representative. Now, it has fallen to the bottom, and even mortals are inferior. Feeling the resentment from Martino, Bergette's eyes were filled with killing energy. It seems that I still have to send you the last ride. As I said at the beginning, if you want to kill me, you must be prepared to be killed by me. Although I did not expect this result, but no matter what, you and I will fight to the last moment. 99. I don't want to waste time. The fallen you are no longer tolerated by the world. In this case, I will rise up because of me, and I will kill you with my own hands. 39. The last words fell, and Bergette's aura became stronger and stronger. The terrifying power of blood and the power of God's volatile fusion surge reached a higher peak. For a time, the entire world of nothingness seemed to be overturned, and this world seemed to echo Bergette's. It also made Bergette unbelievable. In this world of nothingness, unexpectedly, there is a feeling of wanting to blend in with him, to recognize him as the master. Chapter 138 Grand Priest's Request, Black Hand. Open black lens bracket subscription close black lens bracket. Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. The sudden change made Bergette extremely shocked. The ego is in emotion, there is an incredible feeling, like a dream. Anything can be accepted, but this one thing is too strange. The entire realm of nothingness actually resonates with him inexplicably. What is this concept? Although the resonance was only for a brief moment, Bergette felt it. This realm of nothingness has ontological consciousness. It seems to be a realm beyond everything, like a new world, free from the constraints and control of any existence. And he, at this moment, also really wants to explore the deep mystery of the boundless world, but right now, what he needs to do is to kill Angel Martinu. Even if there is still time, the arrow is already on the string and has to be sent. The special energy mixed with the power of the gods and the power of the bloodline, the intensity has been rising steadily, and there is no sign of stopping. Without making any reservations, the atmosphere at this time was already full of killing spirit. As Bergette held his right hand, in an instant, the majestic energy condensed on his arm under the mobilization of his mind, turning into a blade that seemed to be able to cut through the world. This blow, even the high-ranking angel, must be afraid of 3 points. Not to mention the low-ranking angel. Feeling the more and more terrifying breath on Bergette's body, she has even completely suppressed her own power. Angel Martino. No, at this time, she is no longer Angel. She gritted her teeth, and the unwillingness and jealousy in her heart deepened. The dark side in her heart has been magnified infinitely because of jealousy. Martinu's teeth are clenched, and the extreme gorilla glow in her eyes. At this moment, she has fallen even more thoroughly. The inner demon has been eroding her mind and soul from the very beginning, and at this moment, she has almost completely controlled her mind. This change, Bergette naturally also noticed. However, he didn't care about Martinu's changes, because it was impossible for Martinu to break through to a higher dimension from beginning to end. The blackening is more thorough, and it is only an appearance. Her power is still so much, it is nothing more than a difference in nature. In his words, even if he was completely blackened, he would still be unable to escape the fate of being beheaded by him. Just as Bergette was about to take down the knife, the Grand Priest above the void had invisibly broken Martinu's power of space law that isolated everything. And launched telepathy to communicate privately with Bergette. Even Vados, the high-ranking angel, was difficult to crack without attracting attention, but in front of the Grand Priest, this barrier was like a dummy. Bergette-san, can you hear my voice? The voice of Grand Priest resounded in Bergette's heart. The sudden sound made Bergette's movements stop. The attack that was going to slash out also stopped. Open black lens bracket Grand Priest. Close black lens bracket. This special feeling, this familiar voice, Bergette immediately understood that it was Grand Priest who was in contact with him. Grand Priest. Open black lens bracket, it's me. Bergette-san. Close black lens bracket. Bergette frowned. 1 second ago, he asked me to continue the battle and let me kill Martino. But at this time, he contacted me privately. Grand Priest, what exactly do you want to do? Close black lens bracket. Grand Priest is not so idle, and will do these meaningless little things. Advertisement. So Bergette thought for the first time, there must be something hidden in it. Grand Priest seems to need him to do something. Otherwise, why did he interrupt him before he could use his nirvana? Hearing Bergette's rhetorical question, the expression on the Grand Priest above did not change, but his eyes changed instantly. It seems that Bergette-san seems to have guessed that I need your assistance. If it didn't happen now, I'm afraid I wouldn't want to do it now, but since Martino has fallen, I think it is necessary to invite you at this time. Try to delay for a while. Later, there will be a black hand, maybe. Close black lens bracket. This remark shocked Bergette again. Although some didn't quite understand the meaning of Grand Priest's words, but as a transmigrator, he guessed something more or less. Even if he is not sure, but the Grand Priest wants him to help, he is also calculating him and asking him to work for him. I was thinking, as the Grand Priest, how could you easily make a wish like this? And my thoughts have been seen through by you early in the morning. I just don't understand. The dignified Grand Priest has unsolvable things, and he needs help from me as a human. Grand Priest. This is also a last resort. If I shoot myself, the black hand may not appear. Therefore, I hope you don't kill Martinu easily, or you can stimulate it further, so that Martinu completely degenerates. Close black lens bracket. Such a request, Bergette, is even more unexpected. Hope the original angel under your hand is more degenerate. What is this? Yes, but I hope that you will stop prying into my heart in the future. You should already know what kind of person I am, and if my existence threatens you, you will no longer tolerate me. Not sure, but Bergette also had to follow the words of the Grand Priest. Not even reluctantly, because he is also curious, what is the plan of Grand Priest? Then who is the black hand he speaks of? It can be determined that this world has been out of the scope of the original. Grand Priest. Yes, actually, I didn't take the initiative to spy on Bergette-san's heart. As a Grand Priest, I have this ability. As long as you reach a higher dimension, it will be impossible for me to easily read your information and thoughts. Close black lens bracket. The voice of Grand Priest fell, and Bergette also immediately sensed the departure of the other party's consciousness. The easy link consciousness, then disconnected and disappeared in an instant. This method, he can indeed do it. But this time, it looks more scary. End communication with Grand Priest. Time, as if only 1 second passed. This method is even more out of reach for Bergette. The power of time. Even if the power of space is controlled to the extreme, the power of time is still far behind. He has mastered some, but it is not very advanced. It's just that, his eyes focused forward again. At this time, Martino, his resentful eyes fixed on Bergette, with a sinister evil smile on his face. Why are you still hesitating? Don't hurry up. As long as the blade in your hand cuts off my head, you will be the supreme being, who can be recognized by the Grand Priest and surpass angels human beings. At that time, 12 universe will spread your legends. The human who surpassed Angel, Bergette. Ha 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 ha. At this moment, Martino, as if he had gone crazy, was laughing non-stop. This is the only thing she can do at this time. Of course, she can only take advantage of the time to play tricks. From beginning to end to now, she is still so self-righteous, as if she will never be beheaded. This is her calculation. Advertisement. She wants to escape from her shell, so she must also use Bergette. If you want to run, you have to run without a trace. Death is the best choice. This is a compliment to Bergette, because after this battle, Bergette will indeed become famous, and his deeds will even be recorded in the divine calendar, becoming an indelible stroke, and will also become a legendary figure. Hearing this, Bergette's face didn't make much waves, not even the slightest mood swing. Under Martinu's malicious gaze, he took the initiative to disperse the energy blade in his hand. This move made Martinu slightly stunned. She didn't understand why Bergette did this. It made her even more furious. Now, she wants to die. Could it be that the other party wants to let her go? Let her be punished by the Grand Priest, and thus truly fall. The plot has been seen through. Martino can't believe it. Just for a moment, the stinging pain in her face made her realize the truth. Bergette would never let her go, but Bergette wanted to do it in a more rude way. A thrilling sound of bang suddenly exploded. Bergette's fist, carrying the edge that broke everything, smashed heavily on Martinu's face, and the terrifying force twisted Martinu's facial features, causing the fat woman's face to distort and blue veins to burst. Purple blood was sprayed in the space, and Martinu's fat body rubbed the space and flew hundreds of meters backwards. Poof. Martinu, who was knocked away by a punch, felt aggrieved in his heart, and before he could finish speaking, a mouthful of black blood spurted out of his mouth. Her breath decayed again. Gently wiped off the blood stains on his fists, Bergette's eyes had a playful look, and a playful smile appeared on her face. He stepped on the void, geared up, and slowly approached the embarrassed Angel Martinu. You don't think that I will let you die so easily. Just now, I just let you experience the feeling of death. Just like what you were going to do to me before, I will torture you little by little. You, let your mind break down, let your soul suffer from the flames of 10,000 years. In the end, you can't live without dying. Bergette this. He showed off his acting like a movie star. As soon as these words came out, Martino's face suddenly changed color. No, you can't do this. You absolutely can't do this. Even if I lose my heart and don't get recognized by Grand Priest and Zeno, you can't do it. I'm God. Angel Martino panicked. Her face was hideous and she exuded fear. For flowers. At this time, no one can save her. How arrogant she was before, how embarrassed and scared she is now. She brazenly wanted to torture Bergette to death, and now the role has changed, and the person being tortured has been replaced by her, and she's scared. Before she could say the word angel, Bergette punched her again and made her realize the reality. Angel, who is always on top. No, you are no longer Angel. I didn't expect you to have such a day. It's ridiculous. The rules of this game have already been decided, and you will never die. Even if you admit defeat, you can't change it, even if admitting to Grand Priest and Zeno won't change your fate. With a cold snort, Bergette looked at Martinu's eyes were full of disdain. This guy is a typical bully and fear of hardship. When he encounters an existence stronger than himself, he has no courage to resist. No, I don't believe it. Angel Martinu gritted his teeth, but there was nothing he could do. Advertisement. She quibbled with her mouth, but in fact she is very aware of her own fate. There was a muffled sound of bang. Bergette didn't talk nonsense, didn't give her a chance, and attacked him directly. Martinu's chest was hit by a whip leg, and the fat body flew out like a cannonball again. That serious injury, because Bergette's attack worsened again, blood spurted from her mouth, and her body had been turned upside down. Point 0. Now, how could she still be worthy of Angel's dignity and face? The power of the law of space worked again. Bergette jumped into space and came behind Martinu. At the moment when the opponent had not stabilized his body, he threw another uppercut. A thrilling explosion of bang. With a heavy blow, it hit Martinu's jaw straight, and her fat body flew out like a cannonball in an instant. The piercing pain deeply stimulated Martinu's nerves. The pain made her heart blacken more thoroughly at this moment. At this moment, regardless of her own injury, she started a desperate counterattack. Crackling. Black and red lightning descended from the nothingness of the realm of nothingness. Martinu's eyes became redder at this moment, and the fat and bloated body looked like a ghostly twisted and ugly. Anger filled her brain, and the angel scepter in her hand seemed to be completely dyed and blackened at this moment. A little further away, the power of her space law was mobilized by her and compressed on the precious jade at the top of the scepter. This is a space collapse blow that imitates Bergette's power of space law. Humph. Have you started to imitate my tricks? Where have your abilities gone? Do you think that I have no way to deal with the tricks I created? Ridiculous. A mass of white space law energy, Bergette was not afraid at all. With a thought, a white light enveloped his fist, compressing to the extreme. After that, he locked the attacking white energy group and slammed it out. Single quote comma 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 exclamation mark 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 single quote. An even more violent space force dissipated Martinu's counterattack in an instant, and the residual energy wiped across Martinu's cheek in an instant, leaving a not deep or shallow wound. Purple blood flowed down from the wound, making Martinu panic and angry. This Saiyan, who she could easily suppress, was actually powerful enough to suppress her in turn. At the moment when she panicked and hesitated, Bergette had jumped space and came behind her. I can hear the wailing and hesitation in your heart. The corners of his mouth undulated slightly, and Bergette's voice lingered in Martinu's ears like a nightmare for a long time. In the next second, his attack fell instantly, and the ability to oscillate in space once again landed on Martinu's back, knocking him down from the void. The ruthless crushing is so thorough. He also responded to Grand Priest's request and asked him to suppress Martinu more thoroughly, so that she could completely blacken and degenerate. It can be said that he is riveted to play with Martino with all his strength. This kind of acting is absolutely not there before. But it doesn't work in other respects, which Bergette really does. This situation, which almost never happened, Angel, was toyed with by humans. This scene was very much like a game of cat and mouse. Angel, who was always high above the ground, was now like a mouse and could only run around and was powerless to fight back. Chapter 139 Uninvited Guests, Come. Open black lens bracket subscription close black lens bracket. Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. Alas. Martinu, you are really sad now, being forced into such a field by a human being who looks down on you. This is also your end. Fortunately I didn't deal with him, otherwise the result is probably not much different from yours. Lord Grand Priest, he was planning to use one of our lower angels to operate. You bumped into. Close black lens bracket Angel Camberley of the Third Universe, muttered to himself in his heart. Bergette's overwhelming combat power has surpassed their low-rank angels, infinitely close to middle-rank angels, and even high-rank angels. Previously, he had the same idea as Martinu, and taught Bergette, a human who knew nothing of the world, a lesson, and even took the opponent's life when necessary. In this way, establish your own prestige. It now appears that he was very wrong. He shouldn't have thought like that. Even Martinu, who is at the same level as him, is now being chased and beaten by Bergette, like a bereaved dog. Moreover, after gaining the power of depravity. If it was him, the end would not be much better. Even he should be grateful. The angel Bergette chose to challenge was not him, but Martino. Otherwise, the angel who was shuffled this time would become him. At the same time, he is also deeply afraid of Saiyan race. Since there is a Bergette in this race, there is no guarantee that there will be a second Bergette, a third Bergette, or even more. The invisible pressure had passed through gods of destruction and came to their angel's head. This time the Grand Priest allowed Bergette to challenge Angel, which also means that other challengers will be allowed to deal with their angel in the future. In order not to be eliminated, Angel couldn't stand still like Martino and become the first victim. What happened to Martino this time can be regarded as a warning to these 170 angels. It made the remaining 11 angels sound the alarm. After going back this time, I have to pick up my previous practice again, and I cannot repeat the same mistakes. Martinu, I will remember the lessons you brought, and I will definitely not be the next you. Close black lens bracket Angel Camberley has his own abacus in his heart. It can be seen that he is really panicked now. After all, he had murderous intentions on Bergette from the start. Not only he panicked, it should be said that all angels at the lower level were panicked. Because they didn't know how long after this match ended, the next challenger would be ushered in. That is to say, Bergette didn't have a good time, and found them angels every once in a while to practice their skills. Even if they lose, they won't be shuffled, but as angels face, they can't hang on at all. Ninth universe here. The scene of Angel being hanged was deeply reflected in the hearts of gods of destruction Sidra, Supreme Kai Luo and Angel Mojito. Such acts against the Sky Maid Sidra and Supreme Kai Luo, who are gods of destruction, have a strong sense of fear in their hearts. Especially Supreme Kai Lo. Before the game even started, he was dissatisfied with Bergette and mocked him maliciously, thinking that Bergette was not Angel's first-hand enemy. Well now, Angel was unilaterally crushed by Bergette and completely hung up and beaten. He could only pray in his heart that Bergette would not come to him to settle accounts in the future. Otherwise, he might end up worse than Angel Martino. Advertisement. The one with the most broken heart is Gods of Destruction Sidra, who lived and died together with Supreme Kai Luo. If Bergette finds Luo after the fall and kills Luo directly, he will also be implicated, Supreme Kai's death, and Gods of Destruction will not be able to live alone. Therefore, he panicked a lot, and even wished to give Luo two big mouths and let Luo kneel down in front of Bergette to apologize. Lord Sidra, and Supreme Kai, you still don't have to panic. Beings like him don't care what you said before. Angel Mojito really can't stand the disgrace of the two gods in his universe, who are so humiliating. sound reminded. As soon as these words came out, gods of destruction Sidra and Supreme Kai Luo both turned their eyes to meet Angel Mojito at the same time. Even Angel is vulnerable in front of that man, let alone a Supreme Kai. As long as you don't offend his bottom line, nothing will happen. At this point, Angel Mojito didn't want to say more. He doesn't care about Supreme Kai and gods of destruction, because it's useless to him and has nothing to do with him. The only thing he's worried about now is himself. The shuffle between angels this time was the first time, and by no means the last time. Damn. Because of this human being, the shuffle between angels has come ahead of time. I must improve my realm before the next shuffle, at least from the level of the lower angel. I can't stand still. The end of Martino is by no means the end of my mojito. I will not repeat the same mistakes, just like in those days. The same as those 6 angels who were executed. Angel Mojito's inner activities are very rich at this moment. Just because of an Angel Martino reason, it brought such a big impact. It is estimated that Bergette himself did not think that the way he beat Martino has brought a deep psychological shadow to those lower angels. They were all afraid that the next one to be challenged by Bergette and to lose the angel position was himself. But after all, only such an individual angel was worried about his position. Angels from other universes don't care at all. Because of the lower angels, there are only 3 of the 12 angels, namely Angel Martino of the 12th universe, Angel Canberley of the 3rd universe, and Angel Mojito of the 9th universe. The other 9 angels, 5 of which are middle and upper level angels, are far stronger and higher in realm than the lower angels. The remaining 4 deserve to be the ceiling of combat power among angels, and even the strongest one should not be much worse than the Supreme Grand Priest. 10th universe here. Gods of destruction Katakana middle. Rumshi and Supreme Kai Kavas, looking at this scene dumbfoundedly. They secretly swallowed a mouthful of saliva, and were so shocked that they were speechless. After so many years, this was the first time I saw Angel being chased and beaten by mortals. That Bergette is a little too powerful. Gods of destruction Rumshi wanted to say something, but when he thought of Bergette's strength, he didn't dare to say anything. If his words and deeds aroused the dissatisfaction of the other party and offended this human being, his 10th universe would be finished. Angel has been beaten by hanging. He is just a mere gods of destruction. What is he? Is this the power of Saiyan? The power that Zamasu once pursued. Saiyan is an incredible race. It's a pity that Saiyan doesn't exist in my 10th universe. Close black lens bracket is Supreme Kai's Kavas, looking at Bergette's invincible gesture, his heart also has a yearning. If there is a Saiyan race in their universe, I am afraid that the average value can be greatly improved. Even, it is possible to reach a level comparable to those of the 3 universes who did not participate. Thinking of this, he felt regretful. In the future, Zamasu from another time and space took Son Goku's body by making a wish in the Super Dragon Ball. Even his master felt invincible, and Gods of Destruction was also qualified to contend. Advertisement. If Zamasu wasn't so evil, not so stubborn about whether humans should exist or not, their 10th universe, there would be new hope. Only now, no matter what he said, it would be tears. The more he thought about it, the more Kavas felt that it was not worth it and felt uneasy. The 2 of them thought so, as Angel Kes, the oldest, most senior, and most unfathomable among the 12 angels, seemed to have guessed the meaning of Bergette's actions. So, is all this you're instructing? Angel Kessie seemed to see through everything, and looked at the Grand Priest on the Xeno Temple. In a sense, her strength has already broken through the category of peak angel. What Grand Priest can see, what she can calculate, she can too, but far less than what Grand Priest wants to see. 11th universe. Watching the intensifying battle in the sky, Gods of Destruction Vermut secretly swallowed a mouthful of saliva. As a clown, his expression was extremely funny at the moment, and he looked very funny. It's no wonder after all, what happened today was a bit too shocking. First, Bergette of the 6th universe in the power conference stood out and overwhelmed everything to win the championship. It is another challenge to Angel, and the battle with Angel Martino is not defeated. Finally, with his own terrifying growth rate, he continues to transform and evolve, until now he can beat Angel. As the strongest warrior in the 11th universe, Jiren, it is difficult to contain the excitement in Nai's heart at this moment. Open black lens bracket. Is this your full strength? No, you must not have reached the limit. Can't even Angel satisfy your desperate desire to fight. Close black lens bracket. Jiren's fist clenched, and he felt the same way about Bergette's strength. When a person stands at the top, there is only loneliness and emptiness that accompanies that person, because no one is qualified to talk to him, even the gods above. He is the same kind of person as Bergette. However, in terms of strength and realm, they are far apart. He yearned for Bergette's invincible figure, this powerful strength, just what he wanted. This man can challenge Angel, and even has the qualification to defeat Angel. He also wanted to challenge Angel, to defeat Angel, and to show his scorching heat and radiance to all universes on the stage of this power conference. However, his level is not enough, even in the realm of Gods of Destruction, in front of Angel, he is still an ant. He still needs more intensive cultivation, and his cultivation is far from enough. In his heart, the idea of asking Bergette for advice also came into being. He's going to get stronger. The outcome is already obvious. It's a pity, Martinussen, it's all because of your murderous intentions that led to this result. If you didn't have murderous intentions against Bergette from the beginning, I'm afraid you will be challenged. It's not that you didn't say it, the battle would have ended long ago, and you won't be shuffled because of it, it's really a pity. Tien. Make Margarita smiled and said casually. Next, just wait and see slowly, Martinu's defeat is only a matter of time, when it ends, depends on when Bergette has had enough. Seventh universe here. All of them were silent, watching the battle with awe and admiration, their eyes never leaving the battle area. The mighty angel, who is now being chased and beaten by Bergette like a bereaved dog, is already at the end of the fight, and there is no possibility of a comeback. Everyone, without saying a word, without giving any evaluation, and without offending anyone. Watch everything as a bystander. Advertisement. After all, the fighting methods and means of that level from start to finish are what they need to look up to. As Angel of the Seventh Universe, Whis seems to have discovered something tricky at this moment. Because of Bergette's suppression, Martino's depravity became deeper and deeper. Bergette of the Sixth Universe, it is best to end the battle quickly, the rabbit will bite if she is in a hurry. If she really pushes Martinu in a hurry, it is hard to say what she will do. An ominous premonition suddenly appeared in Whis' mind. He felt that something big would happen soon. Martinu is now degenerate, and it is necessary to kill him in an instant. If he continues to delay and waste time, and completely force this depraved angel into despair, no one knows what this fat woman will do. Such a terrible move to come. If it's not good, it will explode in the end, affecting everyone. Sixth universe here. Martinu's embarrassed posture was seen by all the existences, and they were all very satisfied with it. Brother Bergette, give me a hard punch to this fat woman. I can't get used to her arrogant and domineering look. Caulifla cheered loudly to the ring, and now she is in a mood. How cool is it? Just don't be too happy. Brother Bergette, getting stronger and stronger. Kyle also cheered Bergette beside Caulifla. She has long been unhappy at seeing that damn fat woman, and her previous lofty attitude has disappeared, one mortal, one ant, and the Saiyans looked down on them in words. Well now, they were beaten so badly by Saiyan, who they despised, like a bereaved dog. This feeling of venting made their hearts very comfortable. Unlike the two sisters, both Part7 and Hill found something wrong. According to their understanding of Bergette, the other party should disdain to torture such opponents. Even if this angel is really annoying, Bergette's character will not do this. Open black lens bracket. What are you waiting for? Obviously you can end the battle in an instant, what are you thinking about now? Close black lens bracket. Part7 was deeply puzzled by this. He didn't understand what the significance of Bergette's 1.5 actions was. Beating Martino like this is really relieved, but it's almost enough. Bergette seems to be deliberately delaying time and deliberately provoking Martino. Open black lens bracket. Little man, what are you waiting for? Even this king can't read your mind. Could it be that you think someone can't help but save this angel? Do you want to clean it up together? Demon King Hill guessed in his heart. No one could guess what Bergette was thinking, and no one knew what the Grand Priest told Bergette when Bergette was about to execute Martino. And at this moment, in the interlayer of time and space that no one noticed, some uninvited guests who do not belong to this world have arrived. These three existences are not ordinary people, they have the same identity as Angel. Being able to stay in the interlayer of time and space shows that its strength is extraordinary. This time and space is a bit interesting. I didn't expect the fallen angel this time to be Angel Martinu from the 12th universe. In other parallel time and space, I have never seen her fallen. This Martinu is very special. There was a strange laughter from the interlayer of time and space. The owner of this voice comes from a female angel, but this female angel has never appeared in the Dragonball world. It's really special, otherwise it wouldn't be worthy of that adult's attention. Another ethereal voice came, but this time the voice came from a male angel. The Lord gave an order to take Martinu out of here, but compared with Martinu, that human seems to be more interesting, and can force Angel to this step. It's the first time I've seen him in so many years. To such a powerful mortal. Another female angel appeared in the interlayer of time and space, and she was not focusing on Martinu. It's Bergette. This man gave her an extraordinary feeling, and even made her have a strong desire to conquer him.